welcome. We are here at Ernie Chapman Stadium in Wilson Field, bringing you tonight's SCIAC matchup between Chapman Panthers and the visiting Claremont-Mudd-Scripps Stags. Wow, it is the last game of the season. I am Brad Benson alongside Tim Wolf, bringing you all the action here tonight. We're super excited to be the last game of the season, the senior night tonight. So much is going on. How are you feeling tonight, Tim?
Oh, it's going to be a great game tonight. We've had plenty here at CSBN. Last game of the year for us. We've had plenty of exciting games this year, and we're set to have another one tonight. And Chapman is facing off against Claremont-Mudd-Scripps. There's a few things that they can do to win this game tonight, and the first of those is that they need to stop the run game. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps is a run-first offense. They've rushed for 198 yards per game this year. They can't really throw it very well, so they need to make them uncomfortable and force them to throw the ball. They also need to play good red zone defense. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps is only 16 for 25 in the red zone this year, 6 for 9 on field goals, so they don't kick the ball very well either. So when they aren't comfortable kicking it, they go for it on fourth, and they've only been 10 for 21 on that this year as well. So red zone defense is going to be key for that Panther defense. And the last thing they need to do is they need to score quick. CMS relies on that run game to move the ball. That takes a lot of time off the clock. And Chapman's high-scoring offense can score fast, build that lead very quickly, and then they can get their starters out and get healthy for the postseason.
We mentioned that they're getting healthy for the postseason. Of course, they do have an unexpected bye week next week because Occidental had to forfeit their last game of the season, so Chapman's going to want to stay healthy going into this game. And it's senior night tonight. Who are some seniors that we should be looking out for tonight?
Well, you need to be watching out for Deanna Pachote. He's a running back. He's a senior. Not a huge stat line this year for Pachote, but he's very important to their offense. They like to use him as a blocker out of the wing position, and he does a great job for them. Over on the defensive side, Austin Pica at 5'11", 280 pounds is the rock of that defense. He's going to be stopping the run game tonight. They're going to lean on him a lot. And over on the defensive backfield side, Chris Williams is a free safety. Senior, 5'10", 185. He's got 32 total tackles this season. He's a vocal leader on this team and makes it really hard for the quarterback to throw towards his side of the field.
And who should we be looking out for on the CMS side?
Well, over for CMS, number 7, Spencer Sheff is a transfer running back this year for them. He's a red zone player for them, 6 touchdowns. That leads the running back core, and he's got 328 rushing yards. His counterpart, Garrett Cheadle, you're also going to want to watch out for, number 24. He's a freshman, about the same amount of rushing yards, same exact amount of carries, but he's only got 3 touchdowns. And then over on the defensive side, Brendan McDonald is a senior linebacker for them. He leads the team with 51 total tackles, and he can get after the quarterback too. He's got 2.5 sacks.
Definitely some players that we want to be keeping a closer eye on tonight. And also, it's the last game of the season. Chapman, of course, already did lock up that playoff spot, but they could share it with someone else. More on that. We're going to throw it down to Sabrina on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Wilson Field for Chapman's last home game of the season. Now, for the second time in the last 4 seasons, Chapman has won the SCIAC championship. It happened last week against Cal Lutheran, 46-38. But Chapman's not in the clear quite yet. The Panthers may actually have to share their championship trophy with the Redland Bulldogs. If they lose tonight's game against Claremont-Mudd-Scripps and the Bulldogs win their final 2 games of their season, then it looks like they may have to share the title because they'll be ending on the same record. But Chapman's October 14th win against Redlands means that the team's already secured a spot to compete in the NCAA Division III playoffs. So no matter the outcome of tonight's game, Chapman will still have the chance to compete for a national title later this month. Back to you guys.
All right, well, thank you so much, Sabrina. And yes, they do have the opportunity to compete for that national title. It's been an exciting season. It's the last game of the season. How are you feeling about it in general?
Well, it's going to be an exciting one, like I said, and it would, hopefully they can get the win tonight. It would be rough, no pun intended, to lose that, to have to share that trophy with the Redlands Bulldogs, but they're hoping to get a win tonight and take that one back to Panthertown.
All right, well, we also have some excitement here at Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. We're making history. We have 12 cameras here tonight, bringing you all exciting new angles and making sure we just capture every play to the fullest extent. We also are making history. We have people all the way back at our studio at Dodge College of Film and Media Arts. Let's actually throw it over to Michael.
Thank you, Brad and Tim. Welcome to the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network pregame show. First ever. I'm Michael Hofling alongside Hunter Spriggs and Anthony Isaiah Kuna. You guys both part of the Chapman family. Hunter, you currently on the team. Anthony, you graduated in 2015. How's it feel to see this team that you both have followed, I assume? You definitely.
Yeah.
How's it feel to see these guys just sending them on their way?
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions running today, and this is Claremont. We've lost to him 2 years in a row, and you definitely don't want to do it again. It's senior day. You want to send these guys off with a win, and you don't want to share that SCIAC championship with Redlands, our arch enemy. So you want to go in with a win into playoffs and send these guys off right.
Absolutely. And Anthony, you graduated in 2015. You've been here before, so can you tell us what's going through the minds of these seniors at this moment?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's senior day, senior night, and it's these guys' last time putting on their pads and playing in front of the home crowd at Wilson Field. And for me, when I did that, it was a very emotional time for me, because all I can think about was, 4 years of memories and grinding and blood, sweat, and tears being shed out in that field. And so for them, I'm sure it's a very emotional time, and I'm sure that each and every one of those guys, those seniors, will leave it all on the field tonight.
Absolutely. Hunter, you've seen these guys, you've been with them the past 2 years. You're sort of coming up on that role. What have you learned from them that you're going to take forward in your Chapman career?
Definitely the business-like attitude towards, our practices and our games. It's get in, get what we need to get done, and then get out. Don't mess around. Keep this, attitude that we have, for winning, every game towards that.
Yeah, and a lot of the team are seniors. A lot of the key guys that we've seen throughout this year, Batista, Isabel, Mudy, even Pachork, and on the defensive side, Williams, Pica, people like that. They're all graduating, and it seems like a lot of the team is going to be sort of newer to their roles next year. How's this team going to adjust to that?
Well, we definitely have good role models,
Yeah.
that we can impersonate in a way. With Diano and all his activities he does off the field, for fundraising and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's something I want to kind of take up, and just the work hard, play hard kind of attitude.
Yeah. So then moving on from past their Chapman careers, I've been talking to Ricky and Jacob Isabel throughout the year, and they told me that after this year, they actually were thinking about trying out for the CFL. You, Anthony, you played for the Browns for a little bit. What advice would you give them on advancing their career past Chapman?
For anyone at any level, if you're looking to advance your career to the professional level, you have to understand that you are competing with the best in the world at that point now. It's no longer just something you do for school. Now you're competing with the best of the best. Less than 1% of the world gets to play a professional sport. There's 7 billion people in the world. Only 1,700 play in the NFL. Bottom line is, if you want to push for that and really achieve that goal, it needs to be a 110% grind every second of the day. It can't be any second guessing. You have to go for it 110%.
Jeez, put that on the throw pillow already. I'm going to sleep on that from that point on. Anyway, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more of the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. Chapman, Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, coming up.
All right, well, we're here at Wilson Field for a little pregame ceremony. We have senior night tonight. All the seniors and their families being honored here tonight at Wilson Field. Great event going on right now. Seniors, their last game here at Wilson Field. You've been in this situation before, Tim. Your last football game, how do you think the players are feeling out there right now?
Well, I mean, I have been in the situation in the fact that, I played in high school, and I was a senior. I was injured that year, so it was a little bit different. And then I didn't quite last 4 years in college as a player. But when you're there with your family and you're celebrating, just really looking back on your career and just enjoying the fact that you had the opportunity to play football is mainly the most important thing that I think is to take away from this.
At this time, Chapman would like to honor 20 seniors playing in their final home game. These seniors have helped Chapman to be one of the most successful programs in the SCIAC over the last 4 years, winning the SCIAC championship in 2014 and clinching this year's championship last weekend. Head coach Bob Owens and the coaching staff would like to honor these players at this time. Our first senior, a wide receiver, number 1, Mark Pachorek. Mark is joined by his parents, Julie and Joseph, and family. Our second senior, a quarterback, number 4, Ricky Bautista. Ricky is joined by his parents, Tracy and Rick. Our next senior, a linebacker, number 4, Lincoln Falatoy, joined by parents Ava and Junior. Our next senior, a defensive back, number 5, Shannon Estrin, joined by parents Danae and Shannon. Our next senior, a running back, number 6, Joe Muty, joined by parents Tracy and Mike. Our next senior, a defensive back, number 7, Caesar Delgado, joined by parents Norma and Caesar. Our next senior, a wide receiver, number 8, Caleb Durst, joined by parents Natalie and John. Our next senior, a defensive back, number 8, Chris Williams, joined by parents Kim and Richard. Our next senior, a wide receiver, number 9, Kaven Aminzadeh, joined by mom Perry and brother Ira. Our next senior, a wide receiver, number 19, Diego Velez, joined by parents Stephanie and Diego. Our next senior, a running back, number 22, Deanna Pachote, joined by mom Tiffany and cousin Eddie. Our next senior, a kicker, number 30, Lucas Alfonso, joined by parents Liliana and Fernando. Our next senior, a linebacker, number 37, Brandon Ray Tuda, joined by parents Susan and Edgar. Our next senior, an offensive lineman, number 51, Andrew Walker, joined by parents Robin and Drew. Our next senior, a defensive end, number 79, Derek Hart, joined by parents Missy and Andy. Our next senior, a wide receiver, number 81, Jacob Isabel, joined by mom Carol. Our next senior, a tight end, number 86, Corbin Kofer, joined by parents Suzanne and Al. Our next senior, a punter, number 88, Will James, joined by parents Anita and Bill. Our next senior, a defensive lineman, number 90, Adam O'Shea, joined by parents Christy and Mike. Our last senior, a defensive lineman, number 99, Austin Pica, joined by parents Diane and John. Fans, your Chapman football class of 2017.
Great moment right there with all the seniors sharing the special moment with their parents. Their last game here, their last game of the regular season. Of course, there still is the postseason to go, but they want to come away with a victory tonight on senior night because their last game at Wilson Field. What do you think the emotions that the players are feeling right now?
Well, like I said, you know, they're really just looking back on their football career, being thankful that they had the opportunity to play. But you can't get sentimental at this point. You know, they're trying to lock up that SCIAC championship, trying to cement that legacy as the 2017 SCIAC champions, and then also, you know, get ready and take that momentum to go into the national tournament and try to win a national championship.
Yeah, definitely something Chapman's going to want to be looking forward to tonight as we're getting ready to start our game. But until we do so, we're going to take a break right here on the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. Stay tuned for the start of the game.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, national anthem just played. We're super excited to get going off right here, just waiting on the coin toss. Our Chapman captains are already out before the rest of the team takes the field. We're super excited. Last game of the season. Can't really ask for much more. What are your thoughts going into the last game of the season when you already have a playoff spot locked up?
Well, that's something that good coaching really shows when you're going through a game like this. You have a playoff spot. You're trying, of course, to cement that title for the SCIAC championship. But, you know, the players' eyes are obviously looking forward to that D3 tournament. But Coach Owens' job as a head coach is to keep them focused in and ready and prepared for a game like this when you've already got so much ahead of you that does not depend on this game.
Well, do you look at it more as a conference matchup game, which it is, and of course CMS has gotten the better of Chapman lately, so is Chapman trying to make a statement here tonight against their rival?
Oh yeah, a couple players have mentioned to me, you know, that they've lost to Claremont-Mudd-Scripps in the last two games that they played against them, and that's definitely weighing on them. They want to win this game. They want to break that losing streak to this team that does not have as good of a record as them, that's behind them in the standings and just about every statistical category, and they're trying to come out here and make a statement tonight for the Chapman Panthers.
Yeah, of course, Chapman had to forfeit their last game of the season next week against Occidental because Occidental canceled half their season because they didn't have the players. So it's the last game for Chapman, but not the last game for CMS, so they still have a lot to fight for, trying to make a statement of their own.
Yeah, you know, you always want to finish the season strong, and in order to play football at this level, especially when you're not getting a scholarship to play athletically, you have to have a lot of pride as a football player to continue to, you know, have the work ethic and everything to put it all into and just be out here and be a good player. So these guys are not giving up on their season by any means, and they'll be working hard to win this game tonight and the next one after that.
Of Coin toss took place and it just looked like CMS won and then deferred to the second half. Chapman probably doesn't really care about that. They typically choose to receive the opening kickoff as they like to get their explosive offense on the field as early as possible.
Yeah, you'll see in the last few games that we've had for Chapman, they've gotten the ball first and they started off with a few run plays and hit you with a play action pass right over the top. Jacob Isabel using his speed to sneak behind the defense. You can watch out for that on this first drive from Chapman. It's almost a script that they follow at this point. They try to hit you hard and hit you fast right off the bat offensively.
Yeah, Bautista's so great at doing that. Do you think we're going to see him the entire game tonight, or do you think we're going to try to save him for the playoffs?
Well, you know, it depends on how close this game is. One of my keys was, you know, build that lead early, take advantage of that slow Claremont-Mudd-Scripps offense, and just score quickly and build that lead so that you can get your seniors and your key players off the field and keep them healthy moving into this Division III tournament that's ahead of them. So we will see, depending on the score, whether Bautista plays a lot tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to look forward to, as it is a SCIAC matchup, senior night, last game of the season. There's so much going on. Just waiting for opening kickoff right now. Looks like CMS is ready, but Chapman's special teams unit has yet to take the field. Looks like we still have a little less than a minute and a half on the scoreboard before everything's set.
And something that's interesting here on the kickoff returns is lately we've seen Marcellus Hunter get a lot of touches on kickoff returns. He's their backup running back to Joe Muti, kind of a change of pace guy. And putting him back there just gives them another opportunity to put the ball in his hands since he's not necessarily their workhorse running back. But it allows them to give him the ball and try to make some plays.
Yeah, so you just want the ball in playmakers' hands, and Marcellus Hunter is definitely a playmaker for this team. Isabel and Hunter just sitting back there waiting. Both of them extremely dynamic when they have the football, multiple touchdowns each. Isabel leading the SCIAC in total purpose yards as a returner and receiver.
Yeah, you know, Jacob Isabel, earlier on in the season, we had the discussion, maybe he's kind of been surpassed as the #1 receiver in this offense, but not going to happen this year as Isabel ramped it back up, and he now has 9 receiving touchdowns on the year.
An absolute freak on the offensive side of the ball for Chapman. Just does so much for them, whether it's receiving the ball, which he does so well, or just being able to just cause trickeration, cause the defense to go to his side of the field and focus on him instead of other players, which opens up windows and opportunities for other players to make plays. Looks like ball's on the tee, and we are off here at Wilson Field. Short kickoff. It looks like it's going to be caught by Isabel at the 5-yard line. Turn up the middle of the field, going to the near sideline, making people miss. And it hits a spin button, and it's brought down at the 33-yard line after a nice move.
And there you see Isabel, dangerous returner. We talked about Marcellus Hunter, but, you know, there's a reason Jacob Isabel is back there returning the football. He's got a return touchdown this year. He's an explosive player. And as a transfer, that's one of the things that Chapman has been able to do to build this senior class very heavily, is using the advantage of transfer players out of junior colleges and Ricky Bautista and Jacob Isabel.
Bautista's going to line up 3 receivers set. Vacker goes in motion, fakes the handoff. Handoff is to Vacker. Vacker's trying to get the edge and is pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
And there's a nice little drive starting play right there. Get some yards on first down. That's one of the key things on first down. It sounds really simple, but you just want to get yards. You want to be closer to the first down than you were on first down, on second down. And there they go with a great play call right off the bat.
It's going to be a handoff to Muti up the left side. He has one man to beat, and he did it. And Joe Muti is off to the races, and he is tripped up at the 30-yard line, falls down to the 25. Touchdown-saving tackle right there by CMS.
And that was just a great run there by Joe Muti, getting out behind the defense, and he's showing his explosiveness with that run. And they showed you right there, here's the first play to Vacker on the end around. There he gets close to the second down and sets up Joe Muti for a great play.
Looks like Bautista's getting some other receiving options involved as Pachoric gets her first reception of the game. Will Edwards on the tackle. 3 receivers set. Moody is the running back to Bautista's right side. Hand off to Moody on the outside, and that is going to be a TFL right there by Mitchell Allen. His 6th TFL in the season.
Big play there by Allen to set up 3rd and long for the Panthers. CMS giving up that big run to Joe Moody on 2nd and short, and then they come back and shut down that run play when he gets the ball again, and not letting the Panthers get into an easy rhythm here. This 3rd down going to be crucial.
Yeah, Chapman rolling on the first couple plays, and now they're already backed up 3rd and long in their own red zone. Isabel goes in motion. They hand it off to Isabel. Isabel on the edge, trying to get some yardage and falls forward at the 25-yard line.
And I like that run play by Isabel. Not a lot there for him, so he does the wise thing, doesn't try to string it out and use his speed to get to the outside, knows there's nothing there, gets upfield, gets a couple yards, tries to make it a shorter kick for a field goal or a shorter shot for going for it on 4th down, which it looks like is what's going to happen here.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been too long for a field goal, so Chapman's offense is going to stay out there on 4th and 8. Bautista has 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Moody is the running back. Receivers Aminzadeh, Vacker, and Isabel. Bautista thrown to the end zone and just overthrows Vacker. Vacker wanted pass interference, isn't going to get it. It's going to bring up a turnover on downs.
And right there, the Panthers are a very aggressive offense, especially on 3rd and 4th down. Those are classically plays where you would be conservative, try to get the 1st down. But, you know, they got taken advantage of a little bit there. Take a deep shot, not going to get it.
We see this Chapman starting defense right now. They're going to have to be a big force tonight. You're looking at Austin Piker right there, going to be plugging up the middle against the CMS team that is very, very run heavy. And as I say that, that's going to be a passing play. And just through the hands of the receiver, Chris Zilva. A difficult last name that I'm going to be having trouble with all night.
And Seisler there, you got to catch that. You really got to catch that on that play. Your quarterback has a nice little half-field read there on the play-action rollout, and he's wide open in the middle of the zone, and he can't catch it.
Yeah, I'm sure Chapman was expecting a run right there, but they go passing on the first play. And this time it is going to be a run to the right side, cuts up to the middle, and is tackled down after a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
And there's one of our players to watch on the game, getting a great handoff up the middle. And let's take a look at the Claremont offense starting lineup.
Yeah, you see the quarterback right now, Sam Healy, doesn't really do much in the passing game, but you know, he's thrown 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions on the season with 54% completion. They are a heavy running team with the combination of Sheriff and Cheadle. Healy rolling to his right, looking downfield. He's going to take it himself. And it is brought down after a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Great defense there by Chris Williams, staying with the receiver long enough so the quarterback starts to run past the line of scrimmage, makes it easy, makes it safe for him to come up and make the tackle. And Adam O'Shea, some great pursuit there by the big man, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket and making it so that he cannot make that pass for a 1st down.
So a quick 3 and out for the CMS team. That's going to be a huge momentum booster for this Chapman defense that hasn't been necessarily consistent this season.
And not a successful team on 4th down, 10 for 21 this season. Looks like they're going to opt to punt it on this one.
Short kick is going to roll out of bounds, looks like at about the 26-yard line. Just trying to keep it away from Isabel.
And that right there might be why they go for it so much on 4th down. It's a short punt and not quite an accurate punt either. It was going end over end through the air.
Well, Chapman offense is going to try to get something going. They had a fast start for the last drive, but once they got in the red zone offense wasn't able to do much. Of course, most of that drive came on the long run by Joe Moody. Moody's going to be out there right now to Bautista's left side. It's going to be a handoff to Moody. And Moody doesn't have much to go, gets one, maybe two.
And Deanna Pachotti, one of our other players to watch this year. Deanna Pachotti making a great block there on the outside. Shows exactly why he's important to this offense. Even with a small stat line, he doesn't do lots scoring or yards-wise, but in the blocking game, he's almost like a supplemental offensive lineman from the running back position for them.
Isabel goes in motion, fake the handoff to him. Bautista's looking downfield. He's going to keep it himself and running and just has to slide forward at about the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3.
And that's something Bautista was talking to me a lot about earlier on this week. We had him for Athlete of the Week on Chapman News. Through the event, we were talking to him about the strategy going into this game. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps linebackers really like to drop into zone coverage a lot, and that really opens up the middle of the field for him to just take off and run. And we know that Ricky is an athletic quarterback and can get out there, and he said he's going to be taking advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, it's why he's earned another SCIAC Athlete of the Week award. And it's going to be a read option right now for Bautista, and Bautista smartly knows where the sticks are and slides forward past them to give the Chapman offense a first down.
And there's another player to watch in this game, Brandon McDonald, number 45, the linebacker for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, falls for the read option on that. Bautista makes a great read when the linebacker crashed in onto the running back, pulls it out and takes it himself.
Yeah, Bautista just showing his athleticism, why he's such a dynamic player, and a player that has really helped Chapman have a great season so far. Low snap, but Bautista's able to get it off to Muti, and Muti's dragging a defender all the way down. It looks like he might have gotten the first down on that.
Just great blocking all around on that play by the offensive line. And again, Deanna Pachotti coming in as a blocker on that play out of the wing. And Joe Muti able to find some open space after a botched handoff. And that's something that's just different about this Chapman team this year. They continue to play even when the play breaks down, and their receivers especially really like to block downfield.
Well, it's going to be a handoff to Pachotti this time out the middle. Pachotti has some room. Pachotti's still dragging defenders all the way down to the CMS 26-yard line.
And Deanna Pachotti, one of my guys, player to watch. He's 5'8" and 225. He's built like a bowling ball, and he showed it right there, breaking tackles and going all the way down the field. Once he gets going, he's hard to stop, and that's just something that adds another wrinkle into this Chapman offense. Even a guy they use mostly as a blocker can take a handoff.
Well, this time it's going to be a handoff to Marcellus Hunter. Hunter juking defenders and falls down all the way past the first down marker. Another great run for this Chapman offense.
Yeah, and the key play right there was Andrew Walker, number 51, the offensive lineman. He was able to kick out the defense on that key block for Marcellus Hunter, allowed him to cut back and move upfield and get some more yards.
We've already had 5 different players rush for a first down on this Chapman team. And it's going to be another rush this time for Hunter, and Hunter has a hole, and it's going to be a touchdown for Marcellus Hunter. Chapman with their early lead.
And Chapman showing an affinity for the run early on in this game, not necessarily wanting to throw it immediately. And Deanna Pachotti and Marcellus Hunter, look right there. Deanna Pachotti kicks out the defensive end, and Marcellus Hunter gets right into the end zone. Pachotti with a key block there on the linebacker, Connor Leonard.
Yeah, looks like Chapman's going to be the one rushing the ball a lot tonight. As they're waiting on the extra point. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Chapman with the early lead 7-0. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, you expected CMS to be the run-heavy team here tonight with Chapman throwing it more often with Bautista, but so far they've had 5 different players rush for a first down. They've had Hunter, Pachotti, Vacker, Muti, and even Ricky Bautista had a quarterback keeper getting for the first down.
And see, that's something that Coach Shine down there on the sideline would love to hear you say right now. Oh, it looks like Chapman's going to run the ball a lot tonight. Well, that's something that Chapman does. They suck you in, and they make you think they're going to run it all over the field tonight, and then all of a sudden they start hitting you with those play-action passes, and that's where they're so dangerous. They force the linebackers and the safeties to come down towards the line a little bit more to defend against the run, and that allows their quick receivers to get out in space and gives Ricky Bautista a little bit more time to throw when those guys hesitate, thinking that it might be a run play.
So CMS Stags are going to wait for their opportunity. Last time they came out on a short 3-and-out, trying to get something rolling right now. Waiting the kickoff. Caught at the 15-yard line and brought up the middle of the field, and is brought down all the way at the 38-yard line.
That was a nice return there by Jordan Leonard, the freshman. I like what he's able to do there, following some blocks, making some cutbacks. That was a solid return there for a CMS offense that struggled on their first drive.
Yeah, Leonard helping his team out right now, giving him great starting field position so the Stags can get something rolling right here.
And something that's important for this CMS offense to do right now is just get a first down. That's the #1 thing after a 3 and out. That's your goal. Get a first down and you can move on from there.
We're going to line up in the I formation, something we don't see that often here in D3 play. And it's looking downfield. And Healy just overthrew his receiver, but they're going to get Chris Williams for the pass interference call.
Yeah, and Chris knows what he did there. That was a very obvious pass interference right there by Chris Williams. Mental mistake there. He was in coverage, had his guy, just got there a little bit too early, made some early contact, and the receiver had no chance to even play the ball.
Yeah, it might have actually worked out in Chapman's favor, because if that was going to be caught, then it would have been a lot further down the field. Instead, it's only a penalty, and it's only CMS only getting half the yardage that they would have. Trey Smith would have come out with that ball.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with that penalty here in the NCAA. I have a problem with that, because if a play is going to go big, then you can just, foul the guy, and then it goes for 15 instead of 30.
Yeah, of course the NFL does give you full credit, but of course in D3 it's only 15 yards.
And here you can see Chris Williams just gets there early. That was nice technique, reaching over the top of his shoulder pads, trying to get his hand in there, make it hard for him to catch, but he just got there too early. Trey Smith, the receiver on that one, wide receiver. 6'4", 210 pounds, sizable guy. One of their top guys out there at receiver.
Well, we're gonna run a little wildcat right here, and doesn't have much room to go, but still fighting for yardage. That was Cheadle on the wildcat.
Garrett Cheadle, a freshman running back for them. Him and Chef both kind of the same type of runner. Not short, squat running backs like you typically see. They're both about 6 feet tall. One-cut power runners, and that's what Claremont-Mudd-Scripps likes to do here.
It looks like they're running a lot of jumbo and tight formations right here. It's going to be another wildcat, and this time it's going to be handed off. Doesn't have much where to go with Sheriff. Oh, did he fumble on that play?
Flag on the play.
There is a flag. So wildcat on 2 plays in a row. The first time Cheadle kept it, second time he handed it off to Chef.
Offsides. Defense, number 3, 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
And even if it was
results in a first
there,
down.
You got to replay the play after an offside penalty by David Carter right there. Mental mistakes that you can't afford to make here with the lead.
Well, Healy comes back onto the field. He wasn't for those 2 wildcat plays. Looks like we got another bunch formation coming up.
And Healy on the year not having a great one, 54% completion rate. Only 943 yards passing. He averages just over 100 yards per game at 134.
Yeah, because they are a heavy running team, but he is going to pass yet again, and is just able to get it to his receiver, Trey Smith.
And I like that throw there by Healy. He threw his receiver open a little bit. I know I say that a lot on these broadcasts, but that's so important as a quarterback when you're playing against man coverage, is putting the ball somewhere where your receiver can run to it instead of, throwing at your receiver and letting the defense take advantage of that man coverage.
Healy fakes the handoff, looking downfield. And almost intercepted right there by Tyler Hershey.
Tyler Hershey, freshman defensive back from Carlsbad, California, my hometown. Went to Carlsbad High School. We played them a lot in 7-on-7. Hershey, you got to catch that there. That's an important play. That's a key turnover that the Chapman Panthers just missed there on an egregious overthrow by Healy.
Yeah, don't know what Healy was looking at right there. Might have been some miscommunication, don't know, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Healy's going to hand it off this time and is able to bounce off one defender, fumbles the ball. It looks like Chapman might have fallen on it. A lot going on that play.
And that's the first time we've seen Spencer Sheff in this game. The transfer from Army. Yes, Army West Point. He tore his ACL after his freshman year. And here he is now. He opted not to continue to train with the Army and rehab his knee. Here he is at Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, making a play on 3rd down, getting the first.
We're going to pitch it to him this time. He's trying to get the edge and is just shoved out of bounds at about the 15.
And Sheff right there showing exactly why he has the same amount of carries as Cheadle. They like to go to the 2 of them, keep both of them fresh. Here comes a new shift change at running back. Sheff coming off the field after that hard hit along the sideline. He did fumble it on that 3rd down play, but he recovered his own fumble. Good heads-up play by him.
Yeah, they did keep him in the game after the fumble. A lot of the times you see when a player does fumble the ball, they are immediately taken out of the game. It shows how much his coach does trust him. But Cheadle is going to be the running back on this play. And Healy is absolutely blown up right there. Nice tackle behind the line.
And nobody's falling for that one there. Healy just swallowed up. That's a rough day for Healy already. Overthrowing his receiver, getting just eaten up at the line.
Yeah, Deacon I think Deacon was even surprised how much of a free shot he had at Healy. But of course, Deacon will take the TFL any chance he can get. It's gonna bring up yet another 3rd down for the Stags offense. Healy rolling to his right and completes it to his receiver on the sideline. So far, it looks like Healy has not been afraid to throw the ball against this Chapman secondary.
And Healy, that was a good play call by the coaches right there. They're able to give him a nice, easy read on the defense. You don't have to go through 3 and 4 reads. Instead, you have 2 when you roll out to one side of the field like that. He's able to look at his receiver and try and make an easier throw there for a young quarterback who's been struggling.
It looks like Healy actually could have taken it himself for the first down, but of course he saw his receiver down the field, and why not take the extra yardage? This time it's going to be a handoff up the middle. Doesn't have much room to go was Sheff.
And Healy, the senior quarterback, getting a little alleviation there from his running game. He's been struggling this season. But that run game has been able to keep Claremont-Mudd-Scripps' offense rolling, and they're showing us how long it takes them to move down the field. They do it, but they do it effectively, but it does take a long time, and that's why Chapman needs to take advantage of that.
Healy rolling to his right side, and he's going to take it himself, trying to get to the goal line, and he does. It's going to be a touchdown for Sam Healy, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
And Pranav Iyer there, the defensive back, can't make the tackle on Healy. I love to see that by a quarterback, not afraid to take a hit, just running in, making some contact at the goal line and just punching it in for his team, keeping this game close. You can watch him right here. He's going to roll out to the side, doesn't like what he sees on that half-field read that we talked about earlier, and he just takes off. Chris Williams trying to make a big hit on a quarterback there, but he's not able to take him down.
The extra point is good, so we're tied here 7-7 late in the first quarter. Only 2 drives per team, but that's because the CMS team has taken those long, methodical drives to get down the field, and that might be the key to slow down this Chapman offense that can score so quick.
Yeah, ball control is always very crucial against an offense like Chapman's, who relies on big plays and explosiveness to move the ball, and I mean, not to say that Chapman can't put together consistent drives in the way that CMS does, but they score very quickly when they get the chance. And slowing that down by controlling the football, owning the time of possession, is very important for this Claremont-Mudd-Scripps team if they want to win this game.
So far, they're doing a good job, tied here late in the first quarter. But they are giving it back to the dangerous Jacob Isabel.
Jacob Isabel and Marcellus Hunter back to receive.
Another short kickoff. It's going to be caught at about the 10 by Hunter. Hunter trips and is immediately hit. Nice hit right there by Connor Leonard on the CMS special teams.
That was a great heads-up special teams there by the Claremont-Mudd-Scripps Stags. Setting the Chapman Panthers up with decent field position, you know, 20 at the 22. But that's a lot better than they started with last time. If you're looking at it from Claremont-Mudd-Scripps perspective, so to speak. You see Deanna Pachotti in there again.
They're going to hand it off to Hunter on the right side, and Hunter runs into a wall and is trying to get away from it and is not able to, and actually falls back for even less yardage.
That was a great play there by Claremont-Mudd-Scripps to shut down that run play. Will Edwards was not having any of that block from Deanna Pachotti. Played it perfectly, took on the block. That's what you're taught to do. You take on the block, you force the running back to choose a direction, and once he does, you make a play, and that's what he did.
Chapman lines up with 4 wide receivers this time. And it's going to be a swing pass to Hunter, and Hunter is blown up behind the line by Robbie Weisenfels.
And Weisenfels, nice hit there on Hunter. That one had to hurt. Straight to the knees. And you've seen Marcellus Hunter getting a lot of action in this game. That could have to do with the fact that they are nearing the end of their season, looking forward to that D3 tournament. And Marcellus Hunter is not a normal backup running back in the fact that he can make plenty of plays just like the guy in front of him, Joe Muti.
Yeah, 2 straight plays to Hunter, and they go to him for a third. Hunter is just able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Is going to bring up a 4th down. But they go to Hunter 2 straight plays, 2 straight TFLs, and they trust him again with a 3rd play.
Yeah, and you saw Ricky Bautista making a good decision there, going through his reads, doesn't like what he sees downfield, and he throws out a swing pass to Marcellus Hunter there. Will Edwards, the linebacker for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, making a nice play there for the 2nd time on that drive.
Deep, nice kick right here. And it takes a nice Chapman bounce all the way down to about the 10. NFL caliber punt right there by Deeb.
And Deeb, obviously a great punter. He won an award before the season even started. He was preseason SCIAC first team. And he shows it right there why special teams are so important. They can help you win the field position battle and make it so that the offense on the other team has so much longer to go.
First down.
All right, well, we actually have an interview right now with Chris Williams, and is enjoying the moment.
The one thing that'll change, I think, is just enjoying the moment. I think there will be a lot more, and I hope there's a lot more, looking up at the crowd, you know, understanding what a great thing we have here, what a great thing we've enjoyed for 4 years, having people come out to the games. The big advice right now would be to not let this SCIAC championship get to their heads. I think when we were freshmen, they made it look so easy when we were out there. You know, a lot of us, we were very limited playing time. It was a very senior-heavy team, and they made it look so easy.
Yeah, great stuff right there by Chris Williams, just talking about enjoying this moment, being SCIAC champions, going into the playoffs, just strong, undefeated so far in SCIAC play, trying to remain undefeated tonight against CMS. A little bit of a closer matchup than we expected at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, so far through 1 quarter, it's 7-7. Chapman has owned the ball twice here on offense, and they scored once. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps taking a very good strategy, owning the time of possession in this first quarter. And what we missed during that interview with Chris Williams was that run play to the outside. It's now going to be 2nd and 10 after the Chapman defense was able to shut that one down.
Chapman defense not fooled at all tonight by the run, holding up strong.
And there's the Chapman band and the Chapman cheerleaders right there having a great time tonight here at this last home game at Ernie Chapman Stadium. We say last because it's very unlikely that Chapman hosts a home playoff game, as they're not ranked in the top 25, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe Chapman should be if they do remain undefeated. You never know what's going to happen with some other teams. You never know. Well, Healy is pressured right now, trying to escape, but is going to be just brought down by his ankles, and there is a flag on the play.
And David Carter's hobbled, getting up, limping off the field, favoring that left leg. Hopefully he's going to be all right for the Chapman defense. He is a key player for them. He flies around, makes tackles. Actually 2nd on the team in tackles this year.
That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
But they're going to get CMS for a hold. That was offensive lineman Jet Zamont. But it's going to be declined to bring up a 3rd down.
And here on 3rd down, this is important for the Claremont-Mudd-Scripps team. Can they get a 1st down here? They have not been great on 3rd downs this year. And in order to continue to own that time of possession and keep this Chapman offense off the field, they got to get this drive going.
Well, they play action, and its ball is way overthrown for Trey Smith.
And that's 2 overthrows we've seen now by Healy. That might be why his completion rate is at 54% this year.
Yeah, actually, Chapman defender almost had an opportunity to intercept it, but the ball was just thrown way too high that it was sailed out of bounds.
Yeah, Noah Deneen, the junior. We're seeing a lot of guys here out on the Chapman defense, in the defensive backfield especially, that you don't typically see. I like the heavy rotation that they're using a lot of different players here to try and minimize the chance of injury to their starters.
Well, they keep one starter out there, and that's Isabel, and he has some room. He's trying to get the edge and is going to be brought down at about the 30, giving Chapman offense great starting field position.
And again, Chapman winning the special teams battle so far. A nice punt, making it hard for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps to have a sustainable, good drive there. And then Isabel setting the team up with great field position after that nice return.
Yeah, so Chapman's offense is trying to get it into the end zone right now. Last time they, of course, went 3 and out. 3 straight touches by Marcellus Hunter. Backed up in their own on side of the field. This time, a lot better starting field position, and Muty's going to be the running back this time instead of Hunter.
And we talk about the talent that the Chapman Panthers have in their backfield a lot here, and shows right there. Gianna Pachotti, another big run from him.
Yeah, 2 touches for Gianna Pachotti and 2 first downs.
And that might be it. It's one of 2 things. Pachotti, like we said, not a huge stat line this year. Might be getting some carries to pad his stats here near the end of the season, but also he's a very capable runner, and they could be working that wrinkle into this Chapman offense here later in the season. And Pachotti maybe looking at some more carries in the future.
Yeah, well, he's staying on the field right now. He's to Bautista's left side. But they're going to hand it off to Muty up the middle. Nice run by Muty right there, just fighting for yards. May not go down as in the stat books as much, but it does bring up a 2nd and short.
That was a great run there by Muty. I like that play call. The Chapman Panthers like to run a lot of those zone run plays and let their running backs, both Muty and Hunter, and even Pachotti, as we've seen, have great running back vision looking down the field, carrying that ball, and Muty able to find a hole there.
We're going to give it to Pachotti again, and Pachotti is just going to walk into the end zone.
And Pachotti, one of our players to watch. What a guy, getting into the end zone. He puts the work in as a blocker, but he shows that he can run the ball too, and that just really speaks to him more as a player here. Look at him running through, not even really touched there, And even if you did, he was already going. We mentioned earlier, he's built like a bowling ball. Hard, tough guy to take down. But what I like about Pachote is that really just shows his character as a player. He's willing to take on a role as a blocker and open up holes for Joe Muti and Marcellus Hunter and those guys when he's a formidable runner himself.
Yeah, if you look at the scoring drive, very quick. 4 plays, only 32 yards, and it only took 1 minute and 5 off the clock. A lot faster than the CMS team that takes those long, methodical drives down the field.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, Chapman needs to score quick, get that lead here so that they can celebrate their senior night with a victory. And the main key, the key piece of that drive there was that Isabel punt return, setting them up with, like you said, they only had to go 32 yards to score there on that touchdown. So Chapman's offense benefiting from special teams play, especially there.
It looks like they were rolling Pachote with his 2nd touchdown of the season. Of course, that's only his first rushing touchdown. His first receiving touchdown came at an away game at Pomona-Pitzer, and we had the pleasure of calling that game as well. Nice return right here for CMS. Brought all the way down to about the 38-yard line.
And Jordan Leonard, the freshman again. Nice return there. That's some good special teams play on the other side by CMS there. And CMS, a lot of good young players. They have Cheadle in the backfield that they lean on. And we saw him right there, number 34, Jordan Leonard, with a nice return. He's also a freshman.
Yeah, it just looks like the CMS team has great players that when they have the ball in space, they're able to do great things. But the problem is they have not been able to get in space, getting past this tough Chapman defensive line. Healy fakes the handoff, is almost dragged down under pressure. They're gonna flag on the play. Healy is still running around and finally brought down, but it's gonna be brought back after the holding penalty.
Matt Layton on the tackle there. Listed as an offensive lineman on the roster, but he shows right there he can play defense too. That's something you get an opportunity to do here at this Division III level.
Number 60.
And here, Healy able to make people miss running around, but one of his offensive linemen had to hold to give him some space there to run around. And he's just taken down there by Layton.
Yeah, that's the hold. That would have been an easy sack right there for Deacon. But of course, he was held and is going to bring this CMS team back 10 yards, bring up a 1st and 20.
So 1st and 20, this isn't necessarily an area where the CMS offense excels in. They rip off plays of 3 and 4 yards.
Well, they're going to have some trickeration right now, and he has some space right now. And he's going to get the 1st down. Nice carry right there by Christian Curcio.
Christian Curcio, nice run there by another young guy, a sophomore. 5'11", 196. Another typical prototype back that this CMS team likes. They like those guys in that 5'11", 6-foot range, 200-ish pounds, one-cut hard runners, and their offense really leans on players like that.
Yeah, they just have so many different guys that can hurt you running the football. They got Chef, they got Cheadle, they got Leonard. Healy's able to keep it, and then you got to bring in a guy like Curcio. And you just, how do you even game plan for all these different types of runners?
Well, you really just game plan for the offensive style that a team plays, you know? You can't necessarily game plan against a specific player when a team is able to cycle through so many different kinds of guys. Not different kinds of guys, they're all really kind of the same when it comes to running. But, you know, these young players are building a good future for this CMS team, and another team that has some young guys that have been taught by great seniors has been the Chapman Panthers.
All right, well, after the timeout, this CMS team is looking to continue their drive. Chapman's defense probably just wondering what's going on right now as this CMS team is driving yet again. Receiver goes in motion, takes the handoff. Trickeration right now. Trying to get the edge and not able to get much. Great defense right there by Chapman.
And good read there by Trey Smith. That was supposed to be a pass back to the quarterback.
Forced out by number 42,
Doesn't even
Kirk
hesitate,
Calamani.
sees that he's not open, takes it and gets what he can. Very smart play there by Trey
The ball be
Smith.
placed at the 50.
Yeah, Chapman not fooled, holding their
Second and
ground.
7.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. Ball at midfield. Healy back under center. The running back is Leonard. It's be a handoff to Leonard on the strong side. It's brought down close to the first down. That's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
And Leonard, number 4 on the rushing stats rankings for CMS. He's got 25 attempts this year. He averages about 6 yards per carry. Good player. And shows that CMS likes to share the wealth there in the backfield.
The ball be marked at the
Leonard is going to
45.
remain out there.
3rd and 2.
They bring in a fullback, which is Curcio. Had that long first down run earlier in the drive. Leonard fighting for the first down. Looks like the ball might have popped out. Chapman says they have it.
Fumble by number 34, Jordan Leonard.
Important call here.
And it is Chapman football. Huge break right there for the Chapman defense.
And this Chapman defense creating a turnover, not something they've done a lot this year, but something that they can do there to change the tide of this drive. CMS was moving the ball.
Yeah, so Chapman's gonna get the ball with great starting field position at their own 43-yard line. Derek Hart on the forced fumble.
Yeah, like I said, Chapman, their defense not able to make create a bunch of turnovers this whole season. They only have 6, 4 interceptions, 2 recovered fumbles, excuse me. Yeah, 4 interceptions, 2 recovered fumbles. But there they get another one.
It's gonna be a handoff to Dominic Vacker. Vacker trying to get the edge, not able to get much. And the Stags not fooled on that play.
No, and we saw Vacker succeed on that play earlier in the game. They come back and do it again. That's something Chapman does a lot. They run these plays that all have pretty much the same action, where, you know, a specific receiver comes in motion out of the slot there. Vacker doing the same thing he's done 3 times this game, but they like to stem off of those plays and do things that are different to confuse the defense.
Bautista's not liking what he's seeing right now. 3 receiver set. Bautista looking to throw. Going downfield for Jacob Isabel, and Isabel, no one is gonna catch him. It's gonna be a touchdown for Jacob Isabel.
That's receiving touchdown number 10 on the year for Jacob Isabel. Double digits now for the guy. Transfer student here to Chapman last year, made a lot of plays. Coming in this year, he just burns his guy. You can see Ricky Bautista didn't really even have to look through many of his reads. Isabel just wide open, gets into the end zone. Celebration there on the sidelines. There he is, 5'8", not a huge guy, not very tall, does weigh 180 pounds. But he's got a lot of speed, and he showed it right there.
Dang, heads up play right there by Ricky Bautista, changing the play call and going to his guy, Jacob Isabel, and it results in a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that's the mark of a good quarterback, able to read the defense at the line. That shows film study during the week. Like I said earlier, we did our Athlete of the Week for Chapman News with Ricky this week, and we actually had to work around his film schedule 2 days. And he usually meets with Coach Shine in the afternoons to study film. And his film study showed right there. He's able to read the defense, make a call, find the weakness, and get Isabel for a touchdown.
So 2 quick touchdowns for Chapman. It was tied 7-7 at the start of the second quarter. And 6 minutes, not even 6 minutes in, and Chapman already has 2 more touchdowns.
And that's something about this Chapman offense that'll kill you. They score really quick. They have the ability to move the ball slowly with all those running backs and that great play from the offensive line, but they also have a quarterback and a stocked pile of receivers to be able to score very quickly as well.
It looks like we have a kicking change. Keilani Kukahiko is in for the game right now. He's been kicking the extra points. He gets a kickoff this time. And we have room to run right now. And he is going off to the races right now. Is Jordan Leonard.
Jordan Leonard on the return.
And there's able to take him down eventually, but Leonard, nice return there. Able to get out in space, reading the lanes. This Claremont-Mudd-Scripps kick return team has been very effective through this whole game, able to set this team up with good field position. But it looks like there's going to be a penalty here, and that nice return by Leonard is going to be null and void.
Yeah, probably going to get him for a block in the back right here, bringing him all the way back inside their own 10-yard line.
You can see Lucas Alfonso there on the sideline, not even dressed for this game.
Alfonso, their normal kicker, that's why they're going to the freshman right now.
First down, Claremont at the visitor 9.
So Stags going to start their drive on their own 9-yard line. They're going to go with a bunch formation right here. Healy play action. And is going to keep it himself and run out of bounds after a gain of 4.
Jake Norville on the carry.
And here for the Chapman defense, if they can make another stop, they can set that offense up with nice field position again and get this game rolling for the Panthers towards a W. But over on the CMS side, you got to get a first down on this drive at least and show that your offense can still hang.
Norville looks like he's going to keep it himself this time. Quarterback draw and has nowhere to go. And Chapman defenders just swarming him.
Dylan Keefe, the freshman linebacker, getting to him.
Tackled by number 44, Dylan Keefe.
Still almost able to wiggle out of it.
Number 91, Ricky Medeiros.
But Healy's just a slippery runner. He's shown us so far. He's going to scramble around here. It was a design quarterback run, speed option they like to call it. And he's almost able to slide out of the tackles there and go the opposite way. But that defense just had some awesome pursuit there, getting all 11 hats to the ball and making sure that he's not able to get out in space.
Norville running to his right side and has nowhere to go with it, so he's just going to take it out of bounds. And another 3 and out for the CMS team.
Great coverage over the top there by Chris Williams, as well as number 15, Tyler Hershey, the freshman safety. Dropped an interception early, but a nice play on 3rd down there, reading the offense coming at him, making some good plays there at safety, and forcing that 4th down and inevitably good field position off of this punt.
Yeah, last time they punted out of their own end zone, Chapman got the ball at the CMS 30-yard line. Isabel's back to receive at the 45. End over end kick. So Isabel's just going to let it be down at the CMS 47-yard line.
Took a Chapman bounce there too. So punt out to midfield and another setup of good field position for this Chapman offense. They've been enjoying that for sure, able to run the ball a little bit more, not have to go as far. Gives their offense a lot more time to rest, especially here in a game where you want your starters to stay healthy.
Yeah, maybe that's why they've been going to more of the Paciorek and, or excuse me, Pachote and Hunter roles. As I say that, of course, Muti runs onto the field. But Muti hasn't been in the game nearly as much in this first half as he has been all season. We're gonna fake the handoff to Vacker. Bautista looking downfield. Completes it to Isabel at the 30-yard line. First down, Panthers.
Nice catch by Isabel there. Good throw by Bautista, putting it where he could get it and get down so that he didn't take a big hit. Also on that play, another motion by Paciorek. Excuse me, by Vacker. Vacker able to go in motion there. And Bautista faking the handoff to him. That's something that Chapman does that we've been speaking on throughout this game. They build off of certain plays, and right there, that Vacker motion play able to open up a play action pass.
Bautista fakes the handoff and finds a wide open tight end in the middle of the field. They're gonna mark him just short of the goal line. Corbin Kofer enjoyed his senior night tonight, trying to get in the end zone.
Pass complete to number 86, Corbin Kofer. The ball be placed at the visitor 1.
Chapman a little hurry up right here on the goal line, making sure CMS doesn't have a chance to substitute. They're gonna hand it off to Muti, and Muti falls behind the line.
Joe Muti on
Make up
the
a
carry.
second and goal.
And Kofer, classically a player who's more of a blocking tight end. Ben Bruce, a taller player, more of a receiver. Kofer able to be on the field as a blocker here, and they can not even worry about subbing him out here as he makes that big play, bringing them down to the goal line, and he can just stay on as that extra blocker and give them a little bit more oomph at the line.
So second and goal. It's gonna be a fake the handoff to Muti, and it's gonna be an incomplete pass intended for
Pass
Kofer.
complete.
That was really tight coverage there on Kofer
Intended for number 86, Corbin Kofer.
by number 26. Excuse me, number 25, Gino Quaid. That was a good call by the referee, though. I like that. I like being able to play tight, physical coverage in the passing game and not draw the penalty. Obviously, the earlier one from Chris Williams, but that was pretty obvious. I like that play by the Claremont-Mudd-Scripps defense.
Bautista, 2 receivers to his left. Isabel motions. Fakes the handoff to Muti, and he's gonna take it in for himself. Ricky Bautista with the rushing touchdown.
And Bautista, athletic as all get out when it comes to playing football, not just as a quarterback, but as a runner. He got a first down earlier in this game, and he rushes for a touchdown right there. A nice read option play, great read by him. And again, only a minute 38 and 6 plays to go 47 yards. This Claremont-Mudd-Scripps offense is not helping their defense, giving them these short field drives by the Chapman offense.
You got Chapman, 21 points. Pending extra point, next point is good. 21 points in 9 minutes.
Another successful PAT.
And Jacob Isabel spoke to us earlier on Friday about what his season goals were this year.
So if I had the same goal last year, I would like to lead the nation in all-purpose yards. I feel like if I do the little things every day, then that'll come, and if that comes, then that could really help the team out because, you know, the person with the most yards might mean the team could have the most yards in the nation as well.
And Isabel certainly doing his best throughout the season, leads SCIAC in all-purpose yards, leads the team in scoring with some receiving and return touchdowns. Always good to meet with guys like Isabel early on a Friday morning. That interview from earlier this year. And it looks like it's played out very well. I don't think he's the nation's leader in all-purpose yards.
I think he's in the top 10.
He's certainly done his best.
Well, another dynamic return right now. Caught all the way at the 5, brought out to about the 30. Leonard showing that he's a valuable asset on the CMS special teams unit.
Yeah, Leonard making another nice return there, trying to set up his offense with good field position. And CMS has got to get a drive going here if they're going to stay in this game. Chapman already up by 21 points. 6 minutes left in the first half. This does not bode well for CMS if they cannot move this ball on this drive.
First down.
Yeah, given what the CMS offense has shown so far, I don't know if 6 minutes is enough time to score.
They certainly take a long time with those short runs that they use to move the ball.
Well, it's another run to Cheadle. Cheadle picks up about 6 on the play.
That was a good run by Cheadle there. Nice way to start the drive, positive play. More than just positive, got some yards, make it second and short. A second and medium play here for the CMS Stags. Be interesting to see what they do here out of the spread. They've been running a lot of rollout play action passes out of this formation so far in this game.
Receiver goes in motion. Low snap, is able to get the handoff to Cheadle. Cheadle spins. Looks like it's going to be enough for the first down.
Garrett Cheadle on the carry.
And it is as they move the chains. So a rare first down for this CMS offense. Last couple of drives going up 3 and out.
First down.
But able to move the sticks this time is Cheadle. Looks like Cheadle's gonna run out of the Wildcat this time. Cheadle, quarterback drop the middle, able to get about 4.
Garrett Cheadle on
You know,
the carry.
a 4-yard run up the middle doesn't look like much, but when you keep going back to back, it wears the defense down.
I mean, I don't think that was quite 4 yards. It looks like maybe closer to 3, but when it comes to running the ball, 4-yard carry is, if you're averaging 4 yards on carries, you're doing very well on the season. So Cheadle with another nice run there out of the Wildcat formation. Pretty obvious formation, usually a run play.
Well, Cheadle's gonna be back in the Wildcat for a second straight play. I think they're running the same exact play. This time picks up about 3. There's a flag on the play. Probably in the area of holding.
It's going to be an offsides on the defense. Another mental mistake by the Chapman defense here. Something you can't do. They're not a team with a lot of penalties on the year, but that's a problem there. You cannot make that mistake here. Now it's 2nd and short here for a CMS offense that's been running the Wildcat. And usually when a team runs the Wildcat, it's going to be a run play. So that kind of adds a dynamic where the defense has to be on their toes, especially to watch out for a little bit of trickeration.
There is no trickeration. There's another run up the middle by Cheadle, but it should be enough for the first down.
Garrett Cheadle on the carry. Tackle by number 95,
And so,
Andrew Deacon.
tussling there by O'Shea and the offensive line.
First down at the visitor, 47.
First down for CMS. Now already used almost 3 minutes here on this drive to get 2 first downs.
Yeah, Norville remains on the sidelines, and they're going to Cheadle yet again out of the Wildcat. Same play 5 times in a row, given one of the plays was on the offsides. But it's interesting going to the same play 5 times in a row, especially out of the Wildcat.
Yeah, you know, there's got to be something going on with the quarterbacks right now. Jake Norville been playing in this game mostly. Been making a mistake. Thought it was Healy in there, but it's actually Norville. And he's a freshman, so that's actually one of the reasons they may be running this Wildcat offense. They don't think that he can quite handle this Chapman defense.
Looks like they flipped the formation this time. And they're trying to change it up, but he don't let him look like he's throwing, and he does throw. And it is caught. Great defense right there by Chris Williams, but Curcio is still able to come down with the reception.
And Christian Curcio able to make a nice play right there. Great catch. Good coverage there by Chris Williams. A little bit of pushing and shoving by both players out there deep down the field. But Curcio just a great catch there as he's falling down.
And Cheadle's gonna stay in the Wildcat. Looks like there's some confusion with the referees going on right now. Letting Chapman substitute.
And checking in for them is Chandler Wong at defensive line. Listed as a fullback on the roster, gonna play some defensive line tonight.
Looks like Chapman is finally able to stop this Wildcat as they give it to Curcio, and he is able to go nowhere.
And Tyler Hershey making another good play there. He's recovered from that dropped interception earlier with a nice tackle there. Stopped a pass from happening. on 3rd down earlier in this game. A young player for the Chapman defense, making some plays.
Well, Norville's finally going to come back onto the field. 2nd and 12 inside the red zone. A little trick creation, handed off to Curcio, and he's getting into the end zone. There is a flag on the play.
Christian Curcio runs it in for a touchdown.
I really like
Flag on
that
the play.
there. Unfortunately for CMS, gonna be a flag, and it looks like it's gonna be on them by the way the players have been reacting down on the field. And it's gonna be holding on the offense. Great play design though, I like it. Going with the speed option and then countering it back to the other side with Curcio, and he's able to just get out and get into the end zone. But the holding call gonna nullify that one.
Yeah, that was almost 2 big plays on this drive for Curcio. Of course, he was the one that came down with that long reception coming out of the Wildcat from Cheadle. Reception is made at the 10-yard line. It's gonna bring up a 3rd and short.
And a good play call there, Trey Smith. One of their better receivers, just getting out on a nice out route, easy throw. And making it 3rd and medium here for a CMS offense that desperately needs a touchdown.
3rd and 5.
Orwell looking to throw, completes it, but out of bounds.
Pass complete to Trey Smith.
That's gonna be enough for the 1st down. Didn't quite get in the end zone, but Smith smartly knew where the sticks were and where he needed to get. So he's gonna bring up a 1st and goal for the CMS team.
Yeah, Smith 2nd in receiving yards on the team with 313 to Chris Cieslia. And Ciesla has 375 yards, but Smith 4 touchdowns. That leads the team in receiving touchdowns.
Smith, the lone receiver in this formation. And they're gonna give it to the running back and flips into the end zone. They're gonna call a touchdown for Spencer Sheff.
And add number 7
runs it in for a Claremont touchdown.
for rushing touchdowns for Spencer Sheff, the transfer from Army. Just a great play there by Sheff, who splits carries with the other running backs, Cheadle namely. And here's Sheff right here just taking it on a nice play there, and he gets a nice lead block from number 55. That was Jet Zymans.
A successful PAT.
And Zymans with a nice cut block there, and Sheff goes air Sheff and gets up and over. Sheff into the kitchen, cooking up a nice recipe for a touchdown.
Wow, Tim. All right, well, anyway, that does give them the opportunity. If they took 1 more minute, they could have doubled up, but because they are going to get the kickoff to start the 2nd half. Chapman does have a minute to go, and they've shown that they're able to score in under 2 minutes. In those 2 drives, they've gotten the ball around midfield. Do you think that they're just going to try to get in the end zone this time, or just take a knee and go into half with a comfortable 14-point lead?
I mean, you take what the defense gives you, so if you're not able to get anything rolling, obviously don't make any dumb mistakes, throw interceptions, fumble the football. Try to be overly aggressive and give the ball back to CMS here before the end of the half. But I think that Chapman, they're an aggressive team offensively. They will not be sitting on the ball here.
Well, let's see as the kickoff is going. It's going to be caught by Jacob Isabel at the 15. Isabel has some room and just goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. 54 seconds as Ricky Bautista is coming onto the field right now with the offense.
And just another good return from Jacob Isabel. Some more good special teams play from the Chapman Panthers, setting their offense up with great field position. And they're hoping to bring in another score here at the end of the half and extend that lead back up to 21 points.
Got 28 points here in the 1st half. I believe that ties their season high for the 1st half scoring. Bautista's looking to throw. going downfield for Isabel. But great coverage right there by the CMS defense.
Pass incomplete, intended for Jacob Isabel.
And some nice coverage there by CMS. That was number 25, Gino Quaid.
2nd and 10.
That's one of those plays where you have a guy like Isabel, really fast, a playmaker, able to make things happen even when you don't think anything is there, and you just throw it up to him and say, go get it. You see a lot of that happening at higher levels. Antonio Brown, a comparable player, play style-wise.
Well, it's going to be a run from Muty. Muty gets the first down, brought down at about midfield.
Muty on the carry. For a
And
Panther
Chapman running
first
the hurry
down.
up here. They're trying to score.
Yeah, 40 seconds left on the game clock. Chapman does have 2 timeouts. It's going to be a swing pass to Muty. Muty's trying to get out of bounds, and does. Stop the clock with 27 seconds left.
Great play there. Getting some yards, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. Better, obviously, than just spiking the ball. And that was a nice way to get the ball into the hands of a guy who's been explosive this year, able to make long plays, long runs, Joe Muty.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6, 27 seconds left on the game clock. Chapman does have 2 timeouts. Muty goes in motion. They're going to throw it to him. And Muty trying to get out of bounds, and they're going to say that he did, so that's going to stop the play clock with 21 seconds left. Great play by Muty getting out of bounds.
And Chapman showing who they want to go to here when they're running that 2-minute offense. Joe Muty, Jacob Isabel, the only guys to touch the ball so far.
3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2, Bautista audibles. Last time he did that, he threw a long touchdown pass to Isabel. He's going to keep it himself. Trying to get to the first down marker, and he does. Chapman's going to have to call a timeout.
Ricky Batista on the carry. First down, Panthers.
Bautista able to pick up the first down there. Dangerous if you're thinking it from a fan or a coach perspective. You're really hoping he doesn't get hurt, pulling all that contact. Quarterback, obviously, you want them to preserve themselves. But Bautista able to just get out in space and run it, so you don't want to stifle his abilities.
So a little less than 15 seconds left. Chapman has the ball at the CMS 40-yard line. Only 1 timeout left.
And
so you got to be thinking that they're working.
People, especially against the team we're playing, Claremont. You know, they kicked our butt last year. So I think, you know, it puts more of it on, more motivation for us and the seniors and everyone else, because, you know, it's everything we got. It's everything left in the tank.
And Bautista certainly showing that he's giving everything he has here, running for that first down.
Just too high, intended for Trevorville.
And Ville, a big guy, 6'1", but not quite able to get up top for that one.
2nd and 10.
Yeah, only about 11 seconds left. You only have 1 timeout. Are you thinking field goal range at this point?
Yeah, you got to score, you know, so you definitely want to not cancel out the possibility of someone sneaking out behind the defense and getting open. But yes, you definitely want to move that ball into field goal range here to manage that clock and still try and score some points and take advantage of this last possession.
Well, they're going to call Chapman for a false start. Bring him back to 2nd and 15.
Clock operator.
So you hate to see that. You look like you're driving downfield trying to score before the half, and you're back up with a pre-snap penalty.
Yeah, those pre-snap penalties, mental mistakes, something that coaches preach that cannot happen. You got to control the controllables is another catchphrase from football coaches that they like to use. Control the controllables. You can control that you don't jump off sides, and Chapman did not do that there.
Bautista looking downfield, completes it. Short of the first down to Vacker.
Pass complete to Dominic Vacker.
A little less than 6 seconds left on the clock for Chapman calling timeout.
Chapman.
And 5 seconds left here. It'll be interesting to see.
This is a long field goal.
Will Chapman attempt the insanely long field goal here? Or do they just take a shot deep? We'll see what happens here. Coaches meeting and talking it over.
I mean, if their kicker is able to make a 52-yard field goal at the end of to end the half, I'd say he belongs in the NFL. So Chapman offense is going to stay on the field. 6 seconds left. Got to be thinking Hail Mary at this point. Maybe one play to the sideline, but you got to get the first down. 3 receiver set. Bautista going for it all right here. Intended for Isabel, blatant pass interference, but the ref is not going to call it, and that is going to bring an end to our first half.
And the crowd not happy about that one. I'm sure anybody watching right now can hear that through even our microphones here up in the booth. And I mean, I don't know about you, Brad, but I think that was definitely pass interference.
Yeah, well, they're not going to call pass interference, so Chapman's only going to take a 14-point lead going into half. Halftime score, Chapman 28, CMS 14. We'll be back with the second half. And welcome back. And you can't ask for a better start to the game than Chapman had in the first half, putting up 28 points, holding CMS to only 14. And you just gotta love what you're seeing on this Chapman side of the ball.
Yes, 28 points. It's a great first half showing. They've been doing a great job so far. You know, defense gave up a touchdown there at the end. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps staying very much still in this game. Their offense, even without, you know, being able to move the ball very quickly, they've been able to, you know, score some points.
Well, going into the locker room, we had our sideline reporter Sabrina talk to Coach Owens.
Okay, hey guys, I'm here on the field with Coach Bob Owens. Coach O, your team's been undefeated the past 5 games. They've only lost 2 the entire season. So what would you say has been the biggest difference or the biggest change from last season to this season, making for such a successful team?
Just growing up. The fact that we have a good group of seniors, we have good leadership. You know, each year you kind of go through a process where you lose good football players. So 2 years ago we lost some very good football players. Now this group have grown up and taken over the mantle, and they're doing a good job.
And you've already secured a spot in the NCAA playoffs. You're SCIAC champions. What would another win tonight mean for your team?
Well, this win is very important. We could share the SCIAC championship, which we don't want to do. We want to win it outright and just be SCIAC champs and not be SCIAC co-champs.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the game. That's all I have for you guys on the field. Back to you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Sabrina, and thank you to Coach Owens for taking the time to sit down and have that interview. And like Coach Owens says, we don't want to split that SCIAC championship. And Chapman's doing a great job tonight of making sure they have lone possession of it.
Yeah, they've come out really hot. 28 points in the first half, like we said, and there have been some great highlights along the way. Let's take a look. First on that list, Joe Muti just takes off and he runs down deep. Here he goes, and he's eventually tripped up, but they would score. And Jake Norville gonna roll out, looking on that half-field read, doesn't like what he sees. Chris Williams not able to truck him in time, and he gets into the end zone. Next up, Bautista backing up, going to his man, main man, Isabel. Isabel wide open downfield, nobody gonna catch him. 5 yards of space between him and the defensive back. And Bautista again with another nice pass. Play action to Joe Muti right there. Nice gain there by Corbin Kofer. And then Bautista gonna take it from there. Read option, takes it himself, gets into the end zone. And then Claremont-Mudd-Scripps was not gonna give up easy. Spencer Sheff going air Sheff, getting into the end zone.
All right, well, an exciting first half. Let's actually take a look at the stats of the first half.
And on third down efficiency, Chapman winning that battle as they have all season. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps staying around their usual 30%. And they both have been running about the same plays. Chapman, however, not possessing the ball for much time, been able to score a lot. They've had the ball more, and they are 6 for 8 passing and 144 yards rushing. That's big for Chapman. They're winning the rushing yards battle as well against a team that likes to run the football.
Yeah. And it's an emotional game here at Wilson Field, given that it's senior night. And it's also an emotional game here for us at CSBN, as it's our last game for all of our seniors. Let's actually take a look.
In my town, there was a girl that's so sweet. She was girl captain of the 3rd year. House garden in the street. I couldn't speak when she was near, so I wrote her my love letter and I wrapped it round a rock. I threw it in her front yard. She never found it. Should've used the mailbox back in my town. Back in my town. I swept the floor while he cut man's hair. Many girls would come visit all the time. I didn't know why they were there. Sometimes they take them round the block and disappear for hours. I just swept that floor and dreamed of having superpowers. Back in my town. Back in my town. And every year in summer at the local swimming pool, jumping off the highest boat, thought we were so cool. Back in my town. Back in my town. Back in my town. Back in my town.
And a great group of seniors we got here at CSBN. There they all are in the control room. Still up in the air if I'll be back in the fall or not. But if this is it for me, I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anybody else. What a great crew of people here at CSBN. We've been working hard all year long, and it's paid off. This game has been great so far. We'll be back with the second half.
We have a live look right now at our Celebrating Chapman event. Great stuff going on right now. Thank you to everyone that's participating here tonight. And we got an exciting game going on here at Ernie Chapman Stadium. Chapman with the lead, 28-14. In about 30 seconds, we're going to kick off our second half. CMS is going to get the ball to start the second half, trying to get something going right here. As they haven't been able to do much, but they were able to punch it in for a touchdown on their last drive, trying to keep it rolling here right now. As you get a look at our beautiful field right now, our science building in the background, hopefully going to be done next season. Amazing campus. I love being here. Looking forward to the rest of my time here.
And Chapman did receive the ball. They did get the lead, so it paid off. And here, Claremont-Mudd-Scripps will get the ball. Start the second half. What I want to see here is even if they don't score, I want to see them move the football. They need to be able to move the ball and not be able to not have to rely entirely on the Wildcat formation, because that is something that does not sustainably work.
Well, kickoff is going to be caught at the 5 by Leonard. Leonard's so dynamic so far in the game. And Leonard has a nice crease all the way down to the 35-yard line. Another great return by Jordan Leonard.
Number 40, Cassidy King.
Number 40, Cassidy King.
On the tackle right there. Good play by him on special teams. You know, special teams really doesn't get the amount of love that it should here in football culture, really, in fandom. But we've seen tonight the special teams battle has been won by Chapman overwhelmingly, especially in the punt return section, and it set them up with multiple scoring drives where they didn't even have to go very far.
Low snap. It's going to be a handoff and nowhere to go.
Garrett Cheadle on the carry.
Cheadle getting most of his work done so far out of the Wildcat. Hasn't been able to do much coming out of the backfield.
The ball will be marked to the visitor, 36, 2nd and 9.
And they didn't lose yards there, but obviously wanting more on out of a first down play than just 1 yard. And now Norville back there all by himself.
He's going to keep it, trying to get to the edge, and push out of bounds after a gain of about 2.
Jake Norville on the carry.
There's Chris Williams, the senior safety, one of our players to watch, making the tackle, pushing him out of bounds, making it 3rd and a ways to go. It's gonna be a 3rd and 7. And here it's not an area where Claremont-Mudd-Scripps has excelled. They're only 33% on 3rd down on the season. Ironically, that is exactly the same percentage that they were in the first half.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 nonetheless. So it's going to be a tough task for freshman quarterback Jake Norwell. And they're going to have to burn a timeout here early in the second half.
And that was a nice job by the Chapman defense there. Consistently moving around pre-snap, making it a hard read for Jake Norville, the young quarterback. And Chris Williams talked to us earlier this week about how big it is for the seniors and how the freshmen might not quite understand.
It's interesting because when you're younger, I don't think you understand how much the seniors are doing, especially how much the captains are doing, until you're in that spot. Just keep a good mood on the team, keep everyone positive, keep everyone moving forward. So it's interesting being in their shoes, you know, and it gives you a newfound respect for them.
So off the timeout, Norville's going to come onto the field with his offense, 3rd and 7. Chapman showing pressure. Norville looking to pass and completes it. And it's going to be a first down for Chris Ciesla.
And Ciesla there with the nice catch. He dropped a pass on a play similar to that one earlier in the game in the first quarter, actually on CMS's first drive. But he catches it there and picks up the first down. Good play there, good throw from Norville. CMS off and rolling here in the start of the second half.
Norville, 1st and 10, 3 receivers to his left. Receiver motions, hands it, fakes the handoff, gonna keep it himself, and has nowhere to go and chased down by Andrew Deacon.
And Deacon able to chase him down. Norville tripping it up on himself on that one, but he did juke out Dylan Keefe. That was some nice fancy running there by Norville, but not able to get past Deacon, and instead falls down and takes a loss.
Norville's gonna evade the pressure and run and actually gain about 3 yards on the play.
Kirk Calameni there, making the nice tackle, keeping them from being able to make that one 3rd and short. It's gonna be about 3rd and 7 again here, similar to what they had last round.
Well, Norville's gonna limp off the field right now. And Brendan Brown is going to come onto the field as quarterback. Don't know what's going on with Healy if he's injured. So it could be Brown's show going forward. Brown competes it to Ciesla, and Ciesla looks like he got enough for the first down.
And that's 2 crossing patterns by the tight end that they've used now to pick up first downs. They're going to continue to use Ciesla to move the ball down the field on this drive. I really like using that strategy. He's a big guy. He had that drop early on, but since then he's recovered and he's been able to help this offense. Really just, he's been a catalyst for them, able to help them move down the field and try and get a score here and pull within 7.
Interesting that they're trusting Brown to throw the ball. Brown remains out there for a second straight play. He's going to hand it off up the middle and nowhere to go. Swallowed up by 4 Chapman defenders. Just Chef has no chance right there.
And Brandon Brown is actually a junior, older than Norval. And he's been able to come in here and complete a pass. It looks like CMS still hasn't quite figured out their quarterback situation.
Yeah, going into tonight, we thought it'd be Healy taking the quarterback position in a run-heavy offense, but we have not seen that at all tonight. Brown's looking at a shovel pass, and a first down and room to go. Great play right there, getting Spencer Chef the ball in space.
And that was a nice little shovel pass to Chef there, getting him into open space here. He's able to just create some room, and he actually could have broke left on that play. I would have liked to have seen him run that direction. Just a lack of awareness on that play, not being able to get into open field.
They're going to mark him just short of the first down. They're going to bring out Cheadle again in the Wildcat. Cheadle on the draw. He's going to fight for the first down.
And he got it. That Wildcat's been important for CMS in this game. Chapman not been able to stop it consistently enough to force a 4th down there. But CMS has been relying on that formation. Typically not something that coaches like to use too often. It's very predictable, and you're very limited with your options out of it, but they've been making it work.
Yo, they're going to stick with it yet again. Cheadle fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself up the middle. Great job by the offensive line pushing the pile.
Yeah, that's really been a key here for this drive. That last 3rd down there, the offensive line just making way for the running back. And there they did it again for Cheadle. Just pushing forward and churning forward, and not giving up is really an important part of offensive line play. You got to keep those feet moving no matter what. And they showed it right there, making it 2nd and short.
Gonna fake the handoff to Chef. Cheadle up the middle. Fighting for that first down. It looks like he's gonna be marked just short. Oh no, they're gonna give it to him. First down, Cheadle.
And that's another first down out of the Wildcat for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps now. Chapman has got to figure out something that they can do to stop this formation, or it's going to be a long night.
If you look at that red zone graphic up that we have right now, 2 trips for the CMS and 2 touchdowns. So Chapman defense has to slow down this offense and keep them outside the red zone. Cheadle is trying to get the edge. He has blockers. Hits the spin button, still fighting. And they're gonna say touchdown for Cheadle. An amazing second effort right there after he got the edge, spinning into the end zone, and they're gonna give it to him.
And Cheadle adding to his touchdown total as well. You can see here, he just follows the lead blocking of Schiff and just able to break some tackles there, and he gets in. Not gonna be stopped. and he gets some help from his offensive line as well.
The extra point's good, so we have a one-score game here halfway through the third quarter.
And CMS came out and they made a nice play, a couple nice plays here, getting the ball moved down the field. Able to score here at the beginning of the second half. Down 14, now only down 7, pulling within reach of this game. Chapman up 21 at one point. And the Panthers really going to be trying not to blow this lead on this drive coming up. They need to keep the momentum from shifting completely to Claremont on this drive right here.
Well, Chapman's going to change up their return game right now. Isabel's going to remain out there, but they're going to take out Hunter and put in the freshman Nico Ragas. Ragas, of course, had a touchdown reception last game against Cal Lutheran. Trying to get the freshman more involved. It's going to be Ragas on the return. Nice block by Isabel. And good return right there by Nico Ragas, taking it out to the 38-yard line.
Ragas making some plays here later in the season. He made a catch last week for a touchdown. Nice kickoff return there. And we get to see a little bit of the youth that this Chapman roster has on it. They definitely have a bright future.
So Bautista's going to come in back into the game, 3 receiver set. Marcellus Hunter's the running back. Dominic Vacker goes in motion, fake the hand off to him. They're going to hand it off to Marcellus Hunter. Hunter on the left side, trying to get the edge, brought down at the 41-yard line.
And going back to Hunter there on that play. Chapman trying to go back to that formula that had them scoring early in the first half. Lead blocking from Deanna Pachotti. Dual back sets.
It's going to be a handoff to Pachotti. Doesn't have much, but the last 2 times Pachotti has had the ball, he has gone for big gains. So it's just the mentality of having the big man run with the football.
Yeah, and something that is important when it comes to running it with a guy like Pachotti is he has to have somewhere to go. You know, he's not going to be one of those guys that's going to spin out to the outside, make some juke moves, and make something happen with his speed. But if you can get him off on that first step, he can make a lot of good things happen for you.
Well, they fake the handoff to him and pitch it to Hunter, and Hunter's going to get enough for the first down.
Nice play there by the Chapman Panthers. Ricky Bautista flipping it out to Hunter. Hunter able to stumble forward for a first down. And overall, Chapman, you can see right here, they call that a triple option. Bautista has the option to hand it to this running back, doesn't, takes it to run, and then it has another option to flip it out to Hunter, and that's what he did.
Well, it's been a lot of Marcellus Hunter this game as he gets the ball again and doesn't have much room to go. Hunter, of course, taking much of the load tonight, trying to keep Muty fresh for the playoffs.
And Chapman really has to win this game before they look towards the playoffs. We've talked about that earlier. Coach Owens touched on it in his halftime interview. They do not want to share this SCIAC trophy with Redlands, a team that they actually defeated here on one of our broadcasts. So they have got to continue rolling on this drive, score again, and keep that momentum in their favor if they want to keep this game comfortably in their hands.
Yes, momentum has shifted just a little bit to the CMS side. It might not look like it, but they've scored 14 unanswered points.
And Joe Muty, actually not just the only Muty on this roster. There's 3 Muties. There's Joe Muty, there's his younger brother, and there's another Muty, M-U-T-I-E. But Joe Muty spoke to us about his younger brother earlier on Friday.
Talking to my brother, he's an awesome kid, and I know he's going to be doing great things here. Confident in his ability, his talents, and he's going to be an awesome player, an awesome student, and an awesome brother to all of these teammates here.
And the brother he's talking about is Will Muty. He's a freshman linebacker.
Marcellus Hunter on the carry.
Will Muty actually flipped to tight end earlier this year. No longer a linebacker, still listed as a linebacker on the roster. But he's a much different size than his brother, 6'2", 200 pounds. And Joe, 5'10", 185, a shifty running back.
3rd and 7.
What's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for this Chapman offense. Ball around midfield. 4 receivers on the field. We're going to fake the handoff to Hunter. Bautista's looking downfield and through the hands of Vacker and almost intercepted but dropped by Sanchi Mendic.
And that's a problem there. You had a first down here. You can see Bautista gets clear, play action pass, and throws it too high for Vacker. And Vacker, it was in his hands. Definitely got to make that catch, but Bautista could have made it easier for him.
So it's going to bring out Deeb for his 2nd punt of the night. Good kick. And almost a great job right there by the gunner, trying to down it at the 1, but ball just rolls into the goal line, giving the CMS team a touchback.
And that was some good effort there by Chapman, trying to keep that ball, pin CMS deep in their own territory. Still not too bad of a turnover there. They're going to start at the 20, so you give the ball back to them. Not great field position, but from a touchback, it's not too bad. That defense, though, going to have to make a stop against this Wildcat offense that's been giving them fits so far in this game.
Yeah, last 2 drives have resulted in touchdowns for the Stags.
You see the defense communicating there. They know what's coming.
Well, a little trickeration right here, handing it off. But Chapman's able to get there in time, and he's not able to get much after a gain of about 2.
And on the run there was Christian Curcio, the running back. He's made some plays in this game. And Chapman's defense showing great pursuit to get there and make the tackle. We do have a CMS player down now.
2nd and 8.
Looks like it's the offensive lineman.
And they're checking him out. Trainer's holding his right leg. Looks to be in some pain, and he's trying to, they're working on that left ankle. Shane Pico, the senior from Canyon Lake. And that's something you just don't want to see from either side. Injuries, never good. And Pico in a lot of pain there as they work on that left ankle.
Yeah, I hate to see that on any side of the ball, and it's gone silent here at Ernie Chapman Stadium. Wishing the best out there for the injured player.
Trainer's obstructing the view. Kind of hard to see what's really going on with Pico right now. Not sure if it's left ankle or knee. It does look like they might be working to get that knee brace off. And he's going to get up on his own power, and he'll be walking off. They did loosen that knee brace. Knee brace is able to prevent most injuries, not all though. Hopefully for his sake, it's not a serious one. He'll be able to get back. Even in this game, we've seen that before where someone goes down, looks bad, comes back later.
We're wishing the best of Brian Wall right now as he walks off the field. So no longer Wildcat formation. They're looking downfield. And completes it to Ciesla. So Jake Norville comes back into the game and immediately goes downfield to Chris Ciesla, getting the Stags offense rolling.
And right after that, Norville going to come off, and looks like they're going to go right back to the Wildcat. You can see here, Norville just going to go unload deep, and Cesar Delgado in coverage on Ciesla, but Ciesla just been big for the CMS Stags tonight when it comes to picking up first downs.
going to be a run to the outside, able to stay on his feet and fall forward for a gain of about 6.
And the CMS offense gets a break there. Curcio fumbles it, but it is recovered by number 76. 78, Jacob Lyle. That's a freshman offensive lineman for CMS. Here they look to continue this drive. That Wildcat offense continuing to give Chapman trouble.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Same exact play, and it's going to be enough for the first down.
Curcio on the carry.
And Curcio with another carry there. This is one of the things that the Wildcat offense can do for you. They're running sort of like a wing T, but without a quarterback. So Cheadle is back there where a quarterback would classically be, and instead of being under center, he's out in the shotgun, and they're able to move their other running backs around as wing players and create a lot of confusion in the backfield.
But Cheadle's going to keep it up the middle this time, not much to go. And you got to imagine they don't have that many plays drawn up out of the Wildcat formation with their 2 starting quarterbacks down.
Yeah, and see, but that's the issue, is it's really hard to identify those plays as defenders, because the way the Wildcat works is you've got a lot of guys running in different directions behind the offensive line, and the offensive line is either cutting, pulling, they're doing different things that you don't necessarily see, and you're not able to see those smaller running backs behind that big offensive line. They're doing a lot of different things in the backfield that you're not able to track as a defensive, linebacker or a DB.
Well, Cheadle just keeps out churning those yards up the middle.
Cheadle on the carry.
Gonna bring up a 3rd and medium.
And another play with the Wildcat there. Claremont-Mudd-Scripps has to me, it seems like they've resigned to say, we're running the ball, and you better stop us. And so far, Chapman has not been able to stop them. They've been able to move the ball on 2 consecutive drives now. 3 consecutive drives if you count the last one at the beginning of the first half. And here they're almost in the red zone again.
Well, they bring out Norville for the 3rd and 4. A little bit of trickeration right there. Does not fool Chapman.
Dylan Keefe with a great play right there. Not falling for it, making a hit on Curcio. And Curcio not able to get outside on that counter play. Chapman making a major stop there defensively. If they can prevent this field goal from going in, then they can help their momentum stay in their hands in this game and continue to hold that lead.
Mitchell Allen trots on for the 43-yard field goal. And the field goal is good for the defensive lineman, Mitchell Allen.
And a 43-yarder, no small feat. Most college kickers, that's a kick that makes you nervous.
A successful 43-yard field goal for number 99, Mitchell Allen.
But Mitchell Allen, not afraid to kick it. Danville, California resident defensive lineman. A 43-yard kick.
Yeah. You just love to see that if you're CMS. You have your guy that's leading the team in TFLs kicking 43-yard field goals. Absolutely insane.
And jack of all trades. He is a master of one. He's a defensive lineman. And he leads the team in tackles for loss. So this CMS team now draws within 4 points of Chapman, who originally held a 21-point lead.
Nico Ravis and Marcellus Hunter to receive.
Yeah, 2 drives by the CMS team have almost completely taken up the entire 3rd quarter as Marcellus Hunter receives the kickoff his own 5. And is brought down at about the 38.
Tackled by number 31.
And Hunter bumped into there by number 40, Cassidy King. Cassidy King falling right into Hunter, kind of messing up that return. That's always the worst when you're a kick returner. You're taking it up the field and you think you see green grass, then all of a sudden you get hit by one of your own players from the side or behind. But still, regardless, they've now got it at the 31, still a decent return by Hunter.
Bautista's looking downfield right now for Isabel. And Isabel unable to make the catch. Great defense right there by Cade Moffat.
And the Chapman offense showing you that they know they need to score quickly here in this game to stay in the lead. Claremont's going to eat up a lot of time moving that ball. And in order for Chapman to hold that lead comfortably, they're going to have to take advantage of the little time that they do get when they get the ball.
Bautista keeps it himself, is able to make one defender miss. And Bautista has some room. Great block right there. Ricky Bautista at the 30, at the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Ricky Bautista.
Wow. And that play broke down at the beginning, but Bautista makes things happen with his legs. Watch right here, he fakes the handoff to Muti. A blown assignment makes a guy get into the backfield, but Bautista cuts across the formation, picks up a block from Muti, picks up another block, and then Thacker down the field. Just great backside play blocking. That's something these receivers have told me they like to stress. They're very proud that they're good at doing that, and that pride pays off as they get a touchdown there from Ricky Bautista, a rushing touchdown from a quarterback who can not only throw the ball as he leads the SCIAC as the best quarterback, but he can run it too.
Yeah, that was one of the best runs I've ever seen, let alone by a quarterback. Shaking a defender, cutting it across field, 70-yard touchdown run by a quarterback. You do not see that every day.
And that is actually the longest touchdown run of the year for Chapman, and it comes from Ricky Bautista, their quarterback, in a game where many would even recommend sitting your quarterback.
Last week, Joe Muti had a 69-yard touchdown run. And this week, Ricky Bautista beats him just by 1 yard to get the 70-yarder. I'm sure he's going to be having fun with Joe Muti just bragging rights over the longest touchdown of the year. So another return by the dynamic Jordan Leonard. And Leonard is tackled at the 25-yard line, same as a touchback. Looks like we might have had a little scuffle on the field, but the referees broke it up before it turned into anything big.
And here's an important drive for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps. You just gave up a big touchdown run to the opposing quarterback on a play where usually that would go for negative yards, but Bautista able to turn it into a touchdown with great blocking on the backside of the play from his teammates. As CMS, you have to continue to move the ball on this drive. If you go 3 and out here, this momentum is fully in Chapman's hands.
Well, Norville keeps it this time, and he's not able to pull off any Ricky Bautista magic and is tackled right at the line.
Tackle by number 31, Chandler Wong. Number 24, Matt Lee.
So it looks like Norville's going to start this drive. Maybe they're going to go away from the Wildcat as this brings an end to our third quarter.
And Bautista last year, just great completion percentage, but you know, the yards are just a lot different this year. He's a lot better here. In 2017, 22 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions. He just threw a fourth, or excuse me, he almost threw a fourth earlier in this half on that tip pass by Thacker. Still only 3 though, and then he just had that nice rushing touchdown to add to the couple rushing touchdowns he also has this year.
Yeah, Bautista just showing why he's just improved so much at how just having one more year in the offense can really make a difference, as he's earned multiple SCIAC Player of the Week awards, been named to the D3 Team of the Week. Just an absolute playmaker we have at quarterback here for the Chapman Panthers.
Yeah, you know, that's been one of his goals this year, is just to be the best quarterback in SCIAC. You know, I've been talking to him through the couple of times we've worked with him with Chapman News, and he said he didn't quite expect to end up here at Chapman, but he's glad that he did, and he's been able to make an impact for sure.
Norville looking to throw, completes it to Ciesla. And Ciesla brought down at the 49-yard line.
Ciesla again on a crossing route there. They're going to continue to go to that. That's one of the only passing plays that's been working for them consistently tonight. And Claremont-Mudd-Scripps has yet to run the Wildcat on this drive.
Well, it is still early. Down 11 at the start of the fourth quarter. They do take a long time to get down the field. 2 drives in the previous quarter ate up pretty much the entire third quarter. And he is dropped. That is going to be a sack by Chapman. Dylan Keefe.
Dylan Keefe with another nice play there. Made a good play last drive. Stuffing Cercio in the backfield, and he gets a sack right here. You see Norville backing up, and Keefe just beats that left tackle around the edge with that superior speed and quickness. And he's able to get to the quarterback, make it 2nd and long, something that this CMS team does not excel at.
And Norville's gonna pitch it. There's a flag on the play in the area of holding. And it is gonna be a hold against the Sags. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 28.
And that is just a problem if you're CMS. You cannot have a holding penalty. It's 2nd and long. You get a nice play to make it 2nd and not as long. And you get the wind taken out of your sails even more.
Replace.
With a major holding penalty there.
Yeah, and I can't imagine you have many play calls for a 2nd and 28. Down 2 scores in the fourth quarter.
We'll see the main important thing here is not to get overly aggressive and turn the ball over. You can see Claremont has more penalties in this game than Chapman so far. Just hurt him right there. But what you want to do, don't get overly aggressive. Don't throw an interception, fumble the football. You want to be smart. Pick up some yards here on 2nd and long. Make it a little bit more manageable on 3rd down. Worst case scenario you want to be is a punt. You do not want to turn the ball over.
There's going to be a play action. Looking downfield and overthrows his target. And now 3rd and 28.
And now on 3rd and long, expect something like a draw play, a short screen, pass play. You can't risk a fumble or an interception here deep in your own territory on 3rd and long. When you've gotten to this point, it's very unlikely you get a 1st down, even if you do complete whatever play you're going for. And the classic strategy here is just to get some yards and try and pin the other team's offense with not as good field position.
Well, Norville's looking downfield and completes it. Not going to be enough for a 1st down, but definitely going to get some extra yards to help with the punting.
Exactly, and I like the play call. A comeback route along the sideline. Lower chance of an interception than throwing across the middle of the field like they've been doing a lot to their tight ends. And now they have a chance to punt it and set up the Panthers offense with not the greatest field position, or at least not as good field position as they've been giving them throughout this game.
There have been not the best kicks coming from this CMS punter. This one's another short one. Takes a nice Chapman bounce. Ball initially hit at the 30-yard line and rolled all the way to the 38.
And that was about 2 yards away from where CMS had to get for a 1st down. That has definitely hurt CMS through this game now, setting up Chapman with decent field position on most of their possessions. They haven't had to start inside or at their own 20 very often with these short punts.
Yeah, you can't really expect to flip the field position when you're only getting a net of about 20 yards per punt. But Chapman's going to hand the ball off to Joe Muti. Muti's going to get about 5.
Muti getting a carry there. Chapman continuing to rotate through all these running backs, trying to do their best to equally spread out these touches and make it so that they're not overloading one player and tiring him out. It's a great preservation strategy that also allows you to win this game because of the massive amount of talent they have accumulated at the skill positions.
Well, we get the ball to Isabel in space, and things are going to happen as he brings the ball all the way down to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 20.
And that was a dirty spin move there by Jacob Isabel. Defense didn't even know what happened. He put him through the spin cycle. He almost ducked under the tackle as he spun out. And Isabel, anytime you get it to him in space, like you said, things are going to happen. And that picks up a first down for the Panthers.
So first down and 10, ball at the CMS 40-yard line. 3 receivers set. Vacker in motion. Handoff is to Vacker. Vacker looking to throw down the field to Isabel. Caught by Jacob Isabel and pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
And that's something Vacker can do. Vacker has been known to throw it on those end arounds. They've gotten a few teams on plays like that. And they get him again. Just that one hesitation step by the safety or the corner is all that Chapman offense needs on a play like that. As Vacker rolls out to the side, Isabel able to get freed up in the backfield. And here he is right here making a catch, and he's going to take a hard shove out of bounds right here. But it doesn't matter. It's going to be a touchdown for Chapman right here. Joe Muti.
Yeah, quick strike right there by Chapman, just making sure that they're not able to get the CMS team able to sub. A little hurry up, give the ball to your playmaker, and things are going to happen. Chapman with the easy touchdown.
And Chapman takes advantage of that shorter field, goes down very quickly, scores again. Not going to allow that Claremont-Mudd-Scripps offense to eat up all that clock and keep them from having enough time to score. Pulling out all sorts of different plays out of their back of their playbook. Even an end around pass from their wide receiver, Dominic Vacker.
Yeah, down 41-24 with only 11 minutes left. You have to wonder if this slow, methodical, rushing Wildcat CMS offense is going to be able to answer.
And that's something we talked about in the pregame show, was that kind of offense is at a severe disadvantage to a Chapman team. If you're playing good defensive football and not giving up those big plays, then it works. But if you're giving up those big plays like the strike to Isabel right there, another play to Isabel earlier, you know, Ricky Bautista scrambling and able to take off for a 70-yard run. If you're giving up those types of plays, then a slow, methodical offense is not going to do it for you.
Well, down 3 scores, the CMS team is trying to make something happen. Return out to about the 26-yard line. Let's see who comes out at quarterback for the Stags.
And someone we talked to on Friday with the rest of those interviews that we've been showing throughout this game, Kayvon Aminzadeh. He's been a contributor this year on offense. He's made a couple tackles on special teams as well. He's actually the 3rd wide receiver on their roster when it comes to yards receiving and contributing as a receiver. He's been able to do good things for them here, and he just said he's happy to contribute to such a great team.
Well, it's going to be Brown at quarterback. He's going to go up the middle. Carried close to a first down, and it's going to be a first down for Brown.
And the Chapman defense gives up another first down there. This Claremont-Mudd-Scripps offense will kill you slowly if you let them, and they've been able to do that this game.
Brendan Brown rolling to his right, completes it to his receiver, able to make one defender miss and brought down all the way at the 35 of Ciesla. So Brown is quarterbacking this drive right now. You have to wonder if it's because he gives them a better opportunity to score quick instead of Norville.
Brown seems to be their guy when it comes to throwing deep. You know, Norville can make some plays with his feet. I think that's why they like him. They can give it to him on those play-action rollout passes where you have the option to run if nobody's open. But Brown, a taller guy, an older guy, a little more experience, a little more size to see over that offensive line, possibly able to, you know, move the ball down the field a little bit quicker. We talked to Chris Williams earlier in the season about what the season expectations were, and he might be looking like a little bit of a prophet after this one.
I think the expectation this year is a conference championship. You know, us seniors got one our freshman year, but we didn't really have a heavy role in that team. So being seniors, having that heavy role, being leaders to help the other guys understand the Chapman way and stuff, I think the expectation is, you know, a conference championship, and anything less than that would be a disappointing year for us.
Well, they do have the conference championship, and they're looking to take sole possession of it here tonight with the win over CMS.
And you can see Chris Williams back there directing his defenders around as they have to switch on that motion.
Spencer Sheff on the carry.
Well, Sheff gets to carry a little bit of a change up right now and not able to get much. But the CMF offense just has to try to find creative ways to move the ball.
Number 91, Ricky Medeiros.
And that's what they've been doing all night creatively, you know. Out of the Wildcat, rollout passes, shovel passes, doing what they can to try and keep up with this Chapman offense.
Well, great play right there by Brown as he's able to pick up the low snap, make a defender miss, and throw it and complete it to Ciesla. Ciesla brought down at the 6-yard line.
And Chris Ciesla, easily their leading receiver tonight here for CMS. Limped off the field earlier, but he's back. And makes a big play there, gets his team into the red zone.
Brown's looking end zone right now and completes it. And they're gonna say touchdown. That's Jonathan Keller on the touchdown reception.
And Surtis on the coverage there. Gave up the touchdown. Good awareness by the receiver to catch the ball and also work to get into the end zone here. You can see Brown, it wasn't even something he needed to read the defense for. That was a pre-snap read. And Keller just reaches right across the goal line and breaks the plane for a touchdown.
Yeah, heads up by Keller, making sure to turn his body around and get the ball into the end zone. As we have a late player running onto the field, they're gonna throw a flag for an illegal formation.
We'll see what the referee says. And you know, catches like that touchdown on film are what puts you in the coach's good graces. So Keller, great play there.
Yeah, a little interesting stuff happened on the extra point. Looks like there are only 9 CMS players on the field. One runs on late and sets up. And then as the snap was coming out, you had a player running on from the sideline.
And that's a major mental mistake. You just scored a touchdown. You're down. You need the extra point. You got to put points on the board here. And now they got to back it up because of a dumb mental mistake.
Kick is almost blocked. Great effort there by Chris Williams. The kick goes through.
And Chris Williams, we mentioned in the pregame, he's a vocal leader of this team. Definitely one of the top leaders here for this Chapman squad. And he just sets an example by the way he plays. It just shows it right there. Even on a PAT, where most of the time you're not going to block it, but he gives maximum effort there, trying to knock that ball out of the air.
Yeah, it's still a game, believe it or not. Chapman only has a 10-point lead. It's only a 2-score game with little less than 10 minutes here to go in the 4th quarter.
And we've seen a lot of these. Cal Lutheran came and visited, and it was close until the end of the game. Chapman offense had no problem scoring points, but defense had trouble stopping the Cal Lutheran offense from scoring. And it seems like that's been the problem tonight as well. And going into the D3 tournament, this defense is going to have to step up and perform a little bit better if they're hoping to win a game.
Chapman looked like they were preparing for an onside kick. And it's going to be a squib picked up by Vacker, and Vacker's going to take a knee.
Smart play by Vacker there. Smart play by the special teams coaches to put him back there in that open spot they usually leave on the kickoff returns. Vacker catches it. Not going to take any chances at turning that one over and just take a knee.
Panthers will take the ball at the home 41.
So good starting field position for the Panthers. Of course, their last drive resulted in that long touchdown run by Ricky Bautista. It seems like forever since that happened.
That was a long time ago. This Claremont-Mudd-Scripps offense, we said earlier, they take a long time to score. They've kept themselves in this game, but if they continue to take so long, they're not going to be able to tie it up.
It's going to be a run up the middle by Pachote. Seen a lot more Pachote this game than we have all season.
Yeah, Pachote actually notching some rushing stats. Up until this game, his stat line was pretty dead. But like we said, he contributes in other ways. He's made a lot of big blocks, made some of those we got to see firsthand in this game earlier. And there he is in the wing again.
Yeah, you love seeing him get rewarded. He's a senior at senior night tonight. He's been leading the way all year for Joe Muti. Great to see a player like that get rewarded for his hard work.
And you saw him in use right there on that Marcellus Hunter run.
Tackled by number 5.
He just, from that wing position where you would usually have a runner, again, Pachote obviously can run the ball. We've seen it tonight. But also being used as a blocker in that wing position, he able to come around and seal that edge for Hunter and make sure that that defensive end isn't able to reach an arm out and stop him from picking up the yards that he needs for that first down.
Well, Hunter did get the first down, so it's going to be 1st and 10, ball at about midfield. It's going to be a handoff to Hunter right side, cuts it up to the middle, and falls forward for a gain of about 5.
And another nice run from Marcellus Hunter, who's been getting a lot of playing time tonight, getting plenty of touches. He's a junior, so not quite done with his years here at Chapman, and you got to think that the coaching staff has to be happy about that. He's been quite a contributor this year on offense. Marcellus Hunter, their second rusher, about half as many attempts as Joe Muti. Not quite as many yards, but he does have 4 rushing touchdowns to Joe Muti's 6, so he's been able to contribute on the scoreboard especially.
Play action pass, Bautista looking downfield at Isabel. Pass broken up, tight coverage.
And Isabel not able to come up with that one. The guy in coverage, Cade Moffitt. And Moffitt seems to be shaken up a little bit on that one. Hopefully he's gonna be all right. Gonna be looked at by trainers on the sidelines. There's Isabel.
We're actually gonna call Chapman for a penalty on Chapman on that play, back him up a few. Wasn't able to hear exactly what the penalty was.
2nd and 11.
And Bautista looking to the sideline for the call. That's something you see a lot here in all of the game of football now, is huddles are kind of being phased out. You see a lot more of the signals coming in from the sidelines type of strategy when it comes to play calling.
Muti going to the left side, cuts it back to the middle, and falls after a gain of 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long. So if you're Chapman, you start this drive trying to, as you take a look right here by Joe Muti. Not the typical game that he has, getting 100 yards, but he hasn't been in the game as much, but he does have a touchdown in this game.
Only 9 attempts is the main number to look at there. Joe Muti usually gets quite a few attempts. He's got 117 on the season.
Yeah, when you're averaging 7 yards a carry, I don't think anyone really is questioning why he hasn't been getting the yards. Ball underthrown to Minzade and picked off.
And Kayvon actually had a step on his man there. And you can see here, Bautista, fake handoff to Muti, backs up. That one just gets away from him a little bit. And had he thrown it up and over Minzade a little bit more, it could have been a touchdown. He had his man beat.
Yeah, lucky break right there by the interceptor, Victor Bunce. He actually got tripped up on the play, and the ball just landed in his lap. You can't, that is just a lucky break right there for the Stags defense.
And actually a penalty for offensive pass interference on a means a day on that play. And the Stags still able to come up with an interception.
Flag on the play.
Well, they're gonna get the Stags for a false start right here, back them up 5. So there is a chance for the Stags.
You know, down 2 scores here with almost 7 minutes left. That's not a bad spot to be in. There's definitely been larger comebacks attempted and completed. And the Stags hope to complete another one here. And there's another whistle.
They're gonna get him for another false start. Going back to what you were saying, Chapman, they're undefeated in SCIAC play, but they've played a lot of close matches. They've led this entire game, but it's never been out of reach for the Stags. And it was the same last week, Cal Lutheran, Redlands, Pomona, Pitzer. Every team is always in it, but Chapman's able to close out the victory. As you see, Brown can beat the pass right there. Trying to get the first down.
Something important to remember in those games as well, though, is that Chapman has always controlled, except for the Pomona-Pitzer game, which was really, I think, a turning point in their season. That close victory really was their first victory in SCIAC, and set them onto this undefeated record that they've had so far. But all of those teams, other than that, have been completely controlled by Chapman.
It's going to be a pass right here, complete to Leonard.
Number 34, Jordan Leonard.
And I really like what Chris Williams did there, coming down to stop that play. Plays it perfectly. There's a blocker out there, and he takes the outside of the blocker, forcing the running back to go inside, back towards the rest of his defenders. And that was just good technique there by Chris Williams.
Already 3rd down. Of course, they were backed up an extra 10 yards from the 2 false start penalties. 3rd and 3, Brown looking, completes it. It's going to be a first down for Ciesla. Ciesla looking like the primary target for Brown so far.
And yeah, Ciesla, easily their leading receiver tonight. He's been doing a lot for this CMS offense. Moving the sticks, especially on 3rd downs. That big receiving target helps those quarterbacks.
Looks like they run a little read option right there, but did not fool Deacon, as Deacon was able to tackle Brown behind the line.
And Deacon just making a nice play there, not falling for that read option in the slightest.
The ball be marked to the visitor, 34.
And he's just going to make a play there. Nice tackle for a loss for Deacon.
2nd and 12 for the Stags. Low snap, picked up by Brown. He has to run around, trying to make something out of that busted play.
And Kurt Calameni and Lincoln Falatoy made him pay on that run. That's gonna hurt in the morning, man. And Deacon made a great play the play before, but missed him on that one. But these CMS quarterbacks haven't had much time to throw throughout this entire game. Brendan Brown in now, as CMS tries to throw and come back.
And through the hands of Keller. Keller, of course, being the one that made that touchdown reception earlier. It's gonna bring up a 4th and 8.
4th down, Claremont.
And you gotta catch that there. 3rd down, it's in your hands, you're open, you ran a good route. You can see here, Brown, again, same play they got them on for the touchdown with Keller, just a quick out. Pre-snap read with a quick out, taking advantage of that cushion that Keller's getting from Alex Bay. But Keller not able to bring that one in.
Well, Brown trying to make something happen right there, and again, it goes through the hands of his receiver. That's a turnover on downs.
Chris Williams in coverage there. Good job not giving up the big play deep. The receiver has to come back to get open. And quarterback puts it where it's not going to be turned over, but the receiver's still not able to come up with the ball.
First down Panthers at the visitor 39.
Well, looks like Ricky Bautista's going to trot back onto the field. 4 minutes remaining here in the game. It's going to be a handoff to Pachote on the read option. Pachote able to get 2 or 3.
Deanna Pachote on the carry.
Looks like Chapman might be looking to run out the clock here. CMS does have 2 timeouts, but 2-score game, 4 minutes left, 2 timeouts. If you're do you try to make something happen offensively?
I mean, this is something that a lot of people debate about, but when it comes to real-life football, you have to score when you have opportunities. You can't be too caught up in wasting time. You can take a strategy that is going to waste time, you know, high percentage completion rate passes, running the ball a majority of the time. But when it comes to being able to score here, like Bautista might have a chance, you have to take it.
Well, he's just going to slide for the first down. Maybe Chapman's going a little conservative. And you look at the Houston Texans. They lost the game to the Patriots. They had the lead early on. They played conservative. They lost it. Last week against the Seahawks, they had the lead, played conservative. They lost it. Now, I'm not saying the Chapman offense is like the Houston Texans because they have a 2-score lead instead of 1. But playing conservative does not always work in the offense's favor.
Yeah, and you know, you got to take, like I said, take the opportunities to score. Bautista with a nice run there, just on a read option. Something he hasn't done too much this year. He's been such a efficient passer that they haven't had to, but he shows right there that he can when he needs to.
He's going to give the handoff to Muti this time, and Muti's trucking people, still going. And Joe Muti fights his way in for a touchdown.
Wow. What an effort by Joe Muti on his senior night here tonight. Just refusing to go down, getting in with a touchdown. And right here, you can see that's 1 broken tackle. That's 2 broken tackles. And he's going to charge into the end zone. That's another 2, 3, and 4. 4 contacts made with Joe Muti. And he's still able to rumble into the end zone. Joe Muti with a great play.
His second touchdown run of the night, giving Chapman 48 points on the night. I believe that's their season high.
That is a lot of points for Chapman here against CMS. That is their season high. Joe Muti with a touchdown there. He spoke with us earlier on Friday in an interview talking about how senior night is so important to him and how it's just really just something that these seniors really treasure, but they're not going to take it for granted, you know? They're going to play hard, bring it all, and it looks like they've been doing that tonight.
Yeah, Joe Muti giving Chapman their biggest scoring outing of the year. The previous high score was 45 against Redlands and Cal Lutheran. So continuing to pour it on, showing that they averaging more than 40 points per game. And Chapman's gonna squib it right here. And brought down about the 36. Why are you squibbing it right there?
Well, you know, they've been giving up a lot of yards to Jordan Leonard on kickoff returns. That guy is bound to break it at some point the way he's been returning the kicks. So taking a conservative approach to that, not allowing a big play to go to the CMS on special teams.
Well, it might not look like they're going to be able to do it. Down 17 here late in the 4th quarter. Their 3rd string quarterback. Crazier things have happened, but I think this one's a little out of reach for the Stags. As Brown rolls to his right side, looking and able to get the ball off. Pressure was by David Gamble. Not someone you typically see out here on the Chapman defensive line.
Yeah, David Gamble, a sophomore, able to get some pressure there. And Brown been pressured all night. The 1 touchdown pass he threw, he had to dodge a defender who came in free. And this Chapman defense, although they've given up a lot of points, they have been pressuring the quarterbacks for this CMS offense. This offensive line has been very effective in the run game, much less so in the pass.
The Chapman defensive line doing a great job tonight, containing the run, being able to get pressure on the quarterback. Whoever it is. Low snap picked up by Brown and completes it. And trying to get to the first down is Nick Wheeler.
Wheeler, senior wide receiver, making a nice play there and also being aware of where the first down is and picking up that first down here late for his team that is down 3 scores.
First down.
Well, they're going to give Wheeler the first down, and Brown just throws up a prayer, and it is caught. Great catch by Trey Smith.
Trey Smith, most receiving touchdowns on the team for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps. Able to make the catch there. He's one of those guys you just got to give him an opportunity. Right here, Brown, another pre-snap read. Doesn't even have to read the defense, just throws it out towards that left side of the Chapman defense that they've been attacking so much here late in this game.
Brown through the hands of Ciesla. Ciesla's been the go-to target here tonight, but Smith actually leads the team in touchdowns.
And Falatoy with a nice play there on Ciesla. Let's take a look at Ciesla's stats for the night. 3 catches for 59 yards. He's been targeted 9 times though. And he has easily been their leading receiver tonight.
Yeah, definitely Brown's favorite target and Norwell when he was in the game. Brown inside their own 20. Their red zone offense has been perfect up to this point. Brown keeping it himself, able to get the first down, trying to get more, and brought down at about the 7-yard line.
And these Claremont-Mudd-Scripps quarterbacks have been able to run on the Panther defense a lot tonight. That's been something that's helped them get into the red zone. We saw earlier, Norville had a rushing touchdown on a rollout, and Brown continuing that theme.
Well, Brown going end zone right there, a little miscommunication intended for Wheeler. Lucky that wasn't picked off.
And something you're seeing a lot through these passing downs that Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, they're now forced to throw the ball. You can see why they run the ball so much. These quarterbacks have been making quick reads, which means that they cannot sit back in the pocket and go through 2, 3, and 4 options as they look down the field to try and complete a pass. Either that or their coaches don't trust them to do so.
Well, it's going to be a shovel pass right now. Trying to get to the end zone is not able to do so. Just trying to think of creative ways to score. And they're going to call a timeout right here.
And it sounds like Ricky Bautista is actually only 60 yards passing short of the regular season passing record for Chapman. And it's unlikely that he gets that record here tonight with only a minute and a half left. They would have another game had Occidental not forfeited the rest of their season because of basically lack of depth once they had a lot of injuries. But we're going to take a lot. We spoke to Ricky Bautista about his motivation in this game, the last one of the year, also senior night.
I think just a huge mentality for people, especially against the team we're playing, Claremont. They kicked our butt last year. So I think, it puts more motivation for us and the seniors and everyone else because, it's everything we got. It's everything left in the tank.
Well, it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. Brown fumbles the snap, looking at end zone. Completes it to his receiver at the 1-yard line was Williams, or Wheeler.
Chapman doing their best to keep this CMS team out of the end zone here with only about a minute left. Again, showing that they do not take this game for granted.
We're going to hand it off, and it's going to be a touchdown run. I believe that was Cheadle.
And that was Garrett Cheadle. He will be in for a touchdown for the Stags. But pending an extra point, pending this 2-point conversion, extra point, It's still going to be 48-38 with only a minute left. They're going to pretty much need a miracle to come back in this one.
Another weird late substitution right here by the Stags. Almost blocked. Nice pressure by Brunel. But the extra point was good.
And here's a look at that touchdown. Getting into the end zone. They'll get there. Chris Williams disappointed he let that one through. And you could tell by the way he reacted to that even up after that score, 10 points, he's not just going to let people score, right?
Well, I mean, you never want to let people score on you. It's a moral thing.
It's a defensive mentality that it takes to really be the type of leader that Chris Williams is. And it really just forces you constantly have just a motivation to never let anybody have anything easy, even when you're winning.
We have to assume they're going to go onside kick right now. Chapman's ready for it. I'm sure everyone in the stands right now wants to see. Well, they're going to call a flag on the play. Probably illegal touching or offsides, something on that nature.
It will be Chapman ball, though. And Vacker recovering it again shows that he's happy. A little dance on the field.
Well, I'm sure everyone in the stands right now wants to see Ricky Bautista break the single-season passing record, but where they are on the field, he's not going to be able to get 60 yards, which is what he needs.
He would have to throw, they would have to get every single yard from here as a passing play.
And he still would not get it. But it looks like Chapman, they're going to run some sort of offensive play right now, not line up in victory formation. They're going to hand it off right now on a jet sweep. And it's still a nice positive gain right there by Diego Velez.
Number 19, Diego Velez on the carry.
But he did get out of bounds, so that stops the clock. But Chapman offense not slowing down.
And we spoke about that regular season passing record. It's held by Stanley Villanueva, class of '99. He threw for 2,297 yards, and like we said, Bautista would easily break that had Chapman actually been able to have a game next week.
It's going to be a handoff to Chris Williams.
That was actually Caleb Durst there, the wide receiver. He's a senior. We saw him during the senior day festivities. Chapman here with only a few seconds left, trying to get the ball to guys that don't usually get many touches. Checking in is Diego Velez, who we saw with the end around earlier.
About 20 seconds left. Could be the last play of the game. Gonna go to Velez again. And he stays in bounds, so you have to imagine that's gonna be the last play of the game.
And Velez on the end around, not gonna get anything. But Chapman gonna wrap this one up. Up 10, 48-38. That's a great victory for the Panthers. They have now secured that SCIAC championship trophy here, and you gotta love that.
Oh yeah, you claim the sole possession of the SCIAC trophy, and you go undefeated in SCIAC play in the 2017 season. And that's the goal that they set for this season. And now the next season begins, playoffs.
Yep, the postseason is going to be very important for this Panthers football team. We don't know who they'll face yet. They will, again, most likely not be hosting it. About a 99% chance they'll be going somewhere else for the first game. They're not ranked in the top 25. They may get some votes after this performance, though. Now going undefeated in their conference. It's a big deal for a team at any level, being able to win every single conference game. And that's not something that is necessarily something that a lot of people expected going into this season. Last year, Chapman, a very defensively centered team. They went about 500 on the season,
Please be considerate of the
And they come out this year and go undefeated in SCIAC play, only lost their first 2 out-of-conference games, the second of those being an overtime loss to Trinity, who did get plenty of votes for the top 25. They're not in the top 25. But Chapman there now going to gather at the middle of the field. And you got to believe that those guys are just ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, undefeated SCIAC play. Your loss to Trinity was an overtime fumble that was just a very obscure play. And their other loss, the first one of the season, was to a nationally ranked team, top 10 team. So Chapman, a lot of momentum going into the playoffs right now, looking to make a strong push.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm looking forward to is Chris Williams said that they were hoping they get Linfield, who is the number 8 team in Division III. They were number 7 when Chapman played them in week 1. And I think it's safe to say that Chapman has improved in leaps and bounds as a team, and especially as an offense, since that first game.
Oh, totally. That game against Linfield, that was the explosion of Joe Mugi. He broke out for a 60-yard touchdown in that game, and ever since then, it's been all Joe Mugi and Ricky Bautista this season.
Yep, this Chapman offense has been pretty hard to stop this year. And there they are, just celebrating again, running over the student section and the band, getting everybody pumped up. You can see everyone down there. Chapman 6-0 in SCIAC. What a season for them, and it's not over yet. They will now be going on to the postseason.
And not only are they going to the postseason, they're going to the postseason fresh. They got that unplanned bye week against Occidental. I'm sure everyone on this team would love to have that extra game, but of course they don't have it. They're going into the bye week fresh. And you see the fireworks at Disneyland right now. Fireworks at Disneyland, fireworks here at Ernie Chapman Stadium. We're loving it. It's been a great season here, and there's just so many good things to look at. You got young players making plays, scoring touchdowns. You got multiple running backs doing stuff. You have many receivers. Ricky Bautista's been arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the country this year, being D3 Team of the Week a couple weeks ago. Another strong outing, SCIAC Player of the Week last week, making another strong case for this week. Coming away with the victory 48-38, giving the seniors a final victory here at Wilson Field on senior night. Last game of the season. Absolutely ecstatic as you see the Chapman players right now in the huddle. Coach Owens preaching to them. This season may have just ended, but it's just the start of something new. And not only is it the last game here for the Chapman football team, it's our last game here at Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. I know I've learned so much. I'm going to miss the seniors so much. Learned a lot from them. Michael, Tim, Nikki, everyone. I'm just an eager freshman looking forward to having 3 more years here.
And we've got plenty of great people here at CSBN still that aren't seniors. You know, we obviously have you, Brad, but it'll be really fun to see how you guys continue to carry this broadcast program as talent and production team. And it's been great to be here, and we'll be back coming up after the break with the post-game show.
And welcome back to our post-game show. Chapman getting the victory here tonight, 48-39, sending our seniors off with a victory at their last game here at Wilson Field, Ernie Chapman Stadium. I'm Brad Benson alongside Tim Wolf. Thank you so much for sticking around for the post-game show. We're super thrilled to have brought you all the action here all season here on Chapman Sports Broadcast Network as Chapman gets a win on their final game of the season. And talking to some of the players about their final game here is Sabrina with Ricky and Joe.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ricky Bautista, quarterback, and Joe Muti, running back. Both are graduating seniors on the team. Congrats on the win tonight, guys.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you to win your last home game of your careers?
It means everything. You know, it's been a long road. Worked so hard. My team's worked so hard, and just to finish out like this, it's an amazing feeling.
It means the world. You know, we talk about this in the spring, and you know, we just made it a reality. So I think it's an honor, you know, to be SCIAC champs.
And this is your 6th straight win. What are you guys going to do to carry that momentum into the upcoming NCAA tournament?
We're just going to take it one game at a time, again, every day at a time. And this is going to be it's a huge momentum shift. I mean, going into a bye that we have, and so we're just going to do it one game at a time, and hopefully get a win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 weeks to prepare for whatever team we're playing, but we made a lot of mistakes still. You know, we won, but we still made a lot of mistakes, and we got to clean that up. So we just got to come ready to work this week in practice.
All right, thanks guys so much, and congrats again.
Appreciate it.
That's all I have for you on the field. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Sabrina. What an outing just by the entire team today, Ricky, Joe, and the entire Chapman offense. What do you think, Tim?
I mean, it was a great game for the offense. We had even some regular season, single season, this season records broken. Longest run of the season by Ricky Bautista. That and more. Let's take a look at the highlights. We see it right here. Longest run of the season, Ricky Bautista. Broken play, making people miss. And he picks up some blocks. Referee almost ruins the play. And Joe Muti gonna block for him. And Backer, maximum effort all the way down the field, giving Bautista a block, and he's just gonna turn on the jets and get into the end zone. And after that, Jonathan Keller for Claremont-Mudd-Scripps is gonna make a huge play right here. Just Brown makes a pre-snap read, quick out, and watch this, reaching over the goal line, touchdown, Claremont-Mudd-Scripps, just a heads-up play by the receiver. And Ricky Bautista gonna hand it off to Joe Muti, and he's just gonna rumble into the end zone. Great senior night for Joe Muti, the senior running back for the Panthers. And here is a little bit of trickeration happening on the Chapman sideline. Backer gonna throw the end-around pass, and Isabel gonna catch it, bring them down into the red zone here. And right after that, on the next drive, Joe Muti, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the end zone. 4 tackles broken. Joe Muti for another touchdown, his second of the night. Panthers win and take full control of the SCIAC Championship Trophy.
Look at the stats here tonight. Total plays dominated by the CMS team. The yardage is definitely going in Chapman's favor. A little bit of evenness going on in the total net passing yards. Chapman not passing much as they're dominant in the run game. And CMS not able to do much in their passing game. And rushing, Chapman, of course, leading the way with that long run by Ricky Bautista. Stat not on there is time of possession. CMS dominated time of possession, but still not able to get the victory win tonight. Chapman got the victory, 48-38.
And now we are going to go to our studio show, the first one we've ever done, minus, you know, the pregame show. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tim Wolf. Brad Benson, still up in the air whether I'll be back in the fall, but if not, it's been a great time. Thank you for watching CSBN. Michael, take it away.
It's going to be tough, man. Going to be tough to leave CSBN. What a game that was. What a game. Unfortunately, Hunter Spriggs couldn't return. He's got to celebrate with his team, winning that solo SCIAC championship. But Anthony, you're back here with us. That was a great game to watch. Chapman, all the way through.
It was a great game to watch. I mean, once again, Ricky Bautista, Dick Isabel, 2 explosive and dynamic players. I love watching those guys play. It's exciting. It's fun. Defense did a great job. Solid game all around, to be honest. I saw a few holes here and there, little things that I'm sure they'll fix going into the playoffs. I'm sure they'll be tightening up and figuring out how to coordinate their special teams a little better. But all in all, I think it was a great effort, a great game, a great way for seniors to go out in the regular season. Great game.
And I'm not sure if you knew this, but Ricky Bautista actually ended up 60 yards away from the single season passing record. 60 yards.
I had no idea. That's awesome. Once again, I mean, he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think probably one of the best we've ever had here at Chapman. I think an elite level quarterback, especially at this level. And I think we're fortunate to have a guy like him leading our offense.
Absolutely. So heading into the playoffs, there were about 3 or 4 teams that I saw they could possibly play. One of them, Linfield, which of course we've seen every year for the past couple of years. But when I was talking to you about this game that we just saw, you mentioned that they had some holes, especially on special teams, and they need to shore up. What were you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a few times in special teams where we saw a few missed blocks, a few missed assignments here and there. I'd like to see some players be a little more disciplined as far as staying in their lanes on kickoff coverage and punt teams like that. But all in all, great effort. The speed is what was there. You could tell there was no there's no holding back on this offense. The one thing on special teams is you can't spend time thinking at all. It's all about speed and execution. And when they did a great job of that, I'd like to see being a little more attention to detail, but all in all, still a great effort and a great job.
And then one more thing we saw, the emergence of Deanna Pachode, especially in the first half. Do you think that Bob Owens, knowing his coaching style, do you think he put him in there a couple more times just so he could pad stats in his last game?
Oh, heck yeah. Bottom line, Deano is, I mean, I've known the guy since he was a freshman, and he's always been blowing me away with his incredible strength and his work ethic. That guy, he's built to carry that kind of workload. Today, he showed off a little more speed than I thought he had, and he's definitely a more dynamic player that I think should be a big part of this offense, especially going into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Deanna Pachode, Joe Muti, and Marcellus Hunter, the three-headed running back trio today. They really killed it, and hopefully they can kill it 2 weeks from now in their and get that first ever Chapman playoff win. For the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network, I'm Michael Oefling alongside Anthony Ezeakune. Thank you for watching CSPN.
Good night.
All right, we're done.